And recording on a beautiful, somewhat chilly Saturday. I think we can comfortably say that the winter is over. It's a scary thing to say in Minnesota because if you say that the winter is over, you get a blizzard. That's kind of how it goes. But it's May. Yesterday was May Day, so I think maybe we're good. Hello, Derek. Hello, Jen. I already see the likes rolling, and thank you, Derek. Who else is here? Got some people popping in. Don Quixote's here. Some names I recognize. How wonderful. Hopefully we can hit the ground running today. I had a lot of tech issues yesterday. I think I have my solution. It was funny. I had somebody in the chat yesterday while I was dealing with this like giant interface I use because I do music. They were like, oh, is it a Scarlett? And I thought, oh, no, I used to have a tiny little Scarlett that would have been perfect for this. And then I upgraded to this giant one. And it's like too unruly. There's too many things connected to it. Like I can't figure out what the problem is. And then I realized I still have the tiny little Scarlett that would probably be perfect for doing this. So it's just out of frame here. I just disconnected my giant music setup and put in this little teeny one that just has a couple of ports on it. And I've got my headphones plugged in and I've got this microphone plugged in and that's it. And hopefully that'll fix it. Though, because I am using different audio hardware today, especially those of you who are just, the first handful of people in the door watching, do let me know, especially as soon as a call gets started, if I need to turn any knobs to get my audio set up properly. User 960 something blah 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 says MAGA is going to start a civil war. That's their last move. Yeah, that's actually what I'm worried about. I spend a lot of time talking about how people ask me if I'm a liberal or a leftist, and the difference, which is I think important for people to know because it's not obvious if you just think of the left and the right as these monolithic, which side of the issue are you on? Liberals want to reform the system. They want to do democracy and make it better. Leftists think the system is broken and that it needs to be burned down and rebuilt. Leftists essentially want to rewrite the Constitution. Which may maybe not be literally true of every leftist, but they don't want reform, they want revolution. I don't think we should have a revolution. I don't think we should have a civil war. I don't think we should have a coup. I don't want any of that. So I say I'm a liberal, but if the civil war starts, I'm going to have to pick a side in it. So I'll become a leftist when the civil war starts. But I don't want there to be more violence. I just acknowledge the fact that there will be a continued rise of violence if the Constitution doesn't start being followed by our elected officials. Just because look at history. Look at countries where the Constitution stops being followed by its elected officials. It's bad. It's real bad. The path we're on. Don't want to do that anymore. MAGA also, in essence, wants to burn it down. I mean, the leadership does. I think that's the plan for Republican leadership. I genuinely think that most of the Trump supporters who are going to regret it don't realize that that's what's happening. Good morning, everybody. Okay, is it Paming1? Paming? How do I pronounce your username? Because you said happy Saturday, Oskar, and I want to say happy Saturday back, but for 3 days I've been trying to figure out how to pronounce this username, and I don't know. Somebody says there's zero difference between a liberal and a leftist. You can declare that, but the people who recognize the difference, the people who think there is a difference, that's the difference that I explained. You can just say I'm wrong. That's fine. But, when I talk about it, that's what I mean. That's why I lay out what the words mean to me. All right. Very useful. Have not regretted anything yet. Don't know what you're talking about. Oh, right. If you're a Trump supporter, Missy Lou, that's what you mean. You haven't regretted it yet. Well, yes, that's why I say that you will regret it. Plenty of people are already regretting it. The sign is just for those who aren't yet. So that's you. So please hit the request button on your screen, hop on the show, and we can talk about it. We can talk about why I think you're going to regret it. You can talk about maybe why you're not regretting it. Pam. I'm just going to call you Pam. Pamingig. Pam. Does anybody get the reference I'm making? Anyway, I love that movie. Gassamarin, Mama Avery, good to see you too. Rob, send woke people to Haiti and Greenland problem solved. Is that satire? If it's not satire, please hit the request button and we can talk about it. Another insufferable TikTok that has your attention and you're here commenting on it for some reason. So insufferable that, hundreds of people watch live and thousands of people watch after the fact. Ooh, is it glitching? Somebody says it's glitching, but I don't know. Let me know. Do let me know if I'm having tech issues. I said this before people showed up, but I am using a new sound interface today. I realized I can just use my older, simpler one for this, and then use my big, newer, complicated one for everything else, which just is hopefully going to avoid the sort of problems that we ran into yesterday. Okay, it was glitched for a second. Mr. G says, no regrets now and won't be in the future, my opinion. Yeah, I'd like to discuss your opinion. So because I don't have a caller, I'm going to do what I do when I don't have a caller, which is I'm going to mute you to encourage you to hit the request button on your screen and like talk to me about it. I mean, obviously people don't like hold political beliefs that they think they're going to regret. Like if I'm right that you are going to regret being a Trump supporter, the whole point is like, obviously if you knew you were going to regret it, you just wouldn't be a Trump supporter. It's duh. But anyway. Let's see. Luffy says, make America great again is what MAGA stands for, so why are you against America? Yeah, I'd love to discuss that with you, Luffy. I really would. Like, I have a good answer to that, I feel, but I am just going to mute you because I don't have a caller and you're causing a ruckus in the chat, which is allowed. I allow Trump supporters in the chat. I really got to encourage people to hit the request button and get the show going by having a conversation with me. So until that happens, I am going to mute the dissidents in the chat. What if you are unsure of either option? Both have potential for regret. Yeah, that is like kind of a centrist type of position, and I just don't actually really accept it. I think that like, oh no, are the Democrats going to do like a tax policy that isn't your favorite, or like build the wrong roads or something, or like fund the wrong social program? Like, I don't think you're going to feel deep regret about that for decades. Trump isn't following the Constitution. You know, we might have some. I mean, we could have a situation where if the midterms are not free and fair, because they're working really hard to make them not free and fair, if they get enough thank you for the sparks. Thank you, guys, Marin. If we get enough, like, you know, if we get these super majorities, these larger majorities required in the House and Senate to do like really egregious things, like we could start amending the Constitution in ways that are dangerous. How badly do you suppose Trump wants to make it illegal to protest? Think about it, really. Think about the way he talks about what we protesters do. Think about the way he talks about the questions he gets asked by reporters. He says that he said, I think just yesterday, that he wants it to be treasonous. He wants to declare it treason to say that we're losing the war in Iran, which he also declared was over yesterday, but I think he only did that because it's Friday, because he says nonsense about the war on Fridays for market manipulation purposes so that he can say different things on Saturday and Sunday, and then, you know, his people can buy or sell or whatever the appropriate action is when the market opens on Monday. Flagrant market manipulation in front of everybody. It's craziness. But yeah, like, I mean, Think about the sort of amendments to the Constitution that Donald Trump would want to make if he had the power in the Senate to do it. Because what do we need? It's 60, right? What's needed for an amendment? Let me just double check that. Don't have a caller. Sorry, I have such a hard time talking while typing, so it's hard to fill dead air. Right, yeah. Two-thirds of state legislators. Yeah, it's right. I gotta study those rules, because I mean that's what we're in for. If the midterms aren't free and fair, is they're gonna amend the Constitution. I don't know if I haven't said that in public. That is obvious to everybody, right? If they, yeah, 2/3. I always forget which things in the government are 2/3 and which things are 60 out of 100. I know there's a couple things that are 60 out of 100. Anyway, yeah, it's That's what they want, you know. If I mean, they're trying to avoid Trump's impeachment, but on the other side of the coin, if they really disenfranchise millions of voters, they're going to have the power to change the Constitution in a way that, like, what happens next? Like, what if they make protesting illegal? What if they make the type of show that I'm doing right now illegal? That's the sort of like craziness that they do. 401k is going through the roof. Not gonna matter if you don't have rights, Rob. Like, you think your money is more important than like you being allowed to have free speech? Like, what is MAGA? Man, people are upset about the sign. I can see that they're taking this one personally because what the sign means is that you're wrong in a way that you will later realize, and people just can't deal with that. So I'd love to talk to one of you. This is a call-in show. You can hit the request button on your screen. Maybe the mods who have guest control can go invite people. Mods, do you have guest control? Mods in the chat, you can announce it if you don't have guest control, because I will add guest control for those who I trust the current mod team. You guys have all been doing great work for a while. What rights is he taking? Well, Rob, what I'm worried about is I mean, he is violating people's rights already. Like he's filing executive orders that violate the Constitution. Wait, why am I talking to Rob? Rob, hit the button. No, I'm not going to explain it to you. You tricked me, Rob. I'm not going to answer your questions. You're getting muted for the entire live. Hit the request button on your screen and we can have a conversation about it. That's what I got to do as the host. Because we're 10 minutes in and no caller. That YouTube VOD always has a comment. There's always a pinned comment on the YouTube VOD that says calls start at, and I like for that number to be small. And we've made it 10 minutes without anybody wanting to call in and talk about it. Why can't I explain it? Because it's not a good show. I'm going to mute this person as well because it's not a good show for me to just sit and like mute the chat. What I want is a person to call in who disagrees, and then I will explain it to them, and then everybody can watch. We're going to see if Exterminator 2, who I think I've talked to before, but not recently, if I'm remembering correctly. We're going to see if he's somebody I can explain it to. Maybe you'll get to see the show.
Yeah, we talked before about it, Key.
How old are you?
I'm 21. Do you remember our last conversation?
I do not. Please remind me.
Yeah, it was about ChatGPT, actually. I wanted to talk about politics, and I brought up that I was using ChatGPT, and you wanted to talk about ChatGPT so badly.
Well,
and then when we started talking about it.
Yeah. I remember. You
kicked me off the live.
I don't remember why I kicked you, but I don't know. I have a lot of these
because I brought up an argument why ChatGPT is a reliable source.
Okay, so are we going to talk about politics or ChatGPT again? Because it sounds like we already had
I was down to talk about politics last time, but you wanted to talk about ChatGPT, and then you just got angry and just kicked me off the live.
Okay, yeah, I'm sure that people can go watch the VOD and assess if that's exactly what happened. But yeah, I think it is a ridiculous standpoint that you prefer ChatGPT over something like Wikipedia for general knowledge. And
yeah,
again, we already had that conversation, but you did just now call in and bring up ChatGPT. So are we going to talk about politics or ChatGPT?
I'm down to either or. I just don't want to get kicked off the live for
one thing that happens when people get kicked off my live, which is very rare. It's pretty rare that I kick the guest.
It's rare.
Yeah, relative to a lot of other debate hosts, I really do keep people on the line. People who watch the show regularly know the reasons why I do it, and there's really a few reasons. And one of them is when a conversation is just so circular. Like I'll go through the loop 2 or 3 times where it's just
everybody says that, bro. Everybody says they kicked you off the live because you was going circular, bro. People who kick people off the live because they're getting debunked or angry say the same thing too. Oh, you're going circular. It's an excuse. Me personally.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I feel, given the fact that I've kicked you, I'm just going to trust past me to have made a good decision. So I suspect what's happening is that you're bad at interacting with these lives. You're bad at making it a good show. You're bad at having a functional conversation. So I bet this happens to you a lot when you call into lives. That wouldn't surprise me. A lot of people who get kicked.
That was my first time and only time.
Okay,
but I'm usually
dude, what are we talking about? Do you what? Okay, we'll see.
I really want to talk about how you do things. Matter of fact, that's what I want to debate about.
You want to debate my debate strategy?
Yeah,
I'll take it. Okay, I'll let you start.
Yeah, I just don't think it's not polite. How would word I use? Efficient. When you're trying to have a conversation with another person, you're trying to learn or redirect, learn or teach the other person. I just don't think it's efficient by kicking somebody off the live when you're talking about a reliable source, especially about ChatGPT, where it's AI generated. I don't understand how ChatGPT can be an unreliable source, especially when you ask.
Yeah, we literally, I remember, it's all coming back to me. I remember we literally pulled up a help document from the company that made ChatGPT, OpenAI, explaining that it's unreliable. They said, hey, this is unreliable. It's a fundamental problem.
I can tell you what they said.
I mean, we looked at what they said together. Why do we have to go back to ChatGPT, man? We already did this.
Because you was talking about cases on where you can search something up on ChatGPT and it was giving you a wrong answer.
Yeah,
you looked up on their website and it said it can happen and it's possible. Right?
Yeah, that's the problem.
That does not mean that they are saying it's an unreliable source at all. That's not what they stated at all. That's exactly
like a source that is sometimes wrong in such a catastrophic way as you just described.
Wikipedia is 100% truthful.
That's not what I said. No source.
No, that's truthful. A question. It's a question. I'm just questioning.
Dude, again, this is the circular thing. I thought you were going to talk about my debate strategy, and then here we are back on ChatGPT saying the same talking points that we talked in a circle about the other time you called. People can go watch that other show. We already recorded it.
Okay, we can talk about ChatGPT now. So
okay, now we are talking about ChatGPT.
Yep.
Actually, I'm gonna do one of the things that I do in my debate strategy, which maybe we can talk about whether or not that's a good thing. And I'm gonna force you back to the topic you chose, which is that we're gonna talk about my debate strategy instead of ChatGPT, which we already talked about. I'd like for you to tell me about my debate strategy.
Ducking and weaving, chat. Ducking and weaving.
Am I ducking and weaving, or am I going back to the thing you chose? You're the one who left the topic.
Yeah. The reason why I switched over to ChatGPT is because I've only debated what you want, so there's not much to talk about.
You're too far from your mic. You got quiet.
Oh, sorry.
You're muffled or something. There we go.
The reason why I'm switching over to ChatGPT is because I've only been on your panel once, right? And that was about ChatGPT.
Okay.
There isn't much to talk about. You literally just rage quit, kicked me off the live. There's not much to talk about.
Okay, what do you want to talk about, dude? Like
ChatGPT. We can talk about ChatGPT, whether or not it's an unreliable source. I want to finish the conversation.
I mean, do we need to look at the OpenAI help document again? Like,
yeah, go for it. Show it up where it said it's possible. It happens rarely. And how does that make it unreliable? That argument is very illogical and fallacious. I want to talk about that argument.
you think it's fallacious to say that a source that's sometimes very badly wrong is you know what? I'm going to do something I rarely do. I'm going to do something
very badly wrong.
I'm going to do something that I very rarely do, which is because we're talking about if AI is reliable, I'm actually going to use Google's Gemini AI thing, which is to say that ChatGPT is highly useful, creative, and controversial AI, but it is not 100% reliable with factual accuracy, which again, nothing is, but with research indicating roughly 10 to 13% error rates on some benchmarks. Do you think that 10% of the information in Wikipedia is wrong?
In Wikipedia, I have no clue. I never searched it. You should search it up.
Okay, right. But again, like, do you think that a 10 to 13% error rate is an acceptable rate to call something reliable?
Oh, no. Okay. And I would question about that 10 to 13% either way.
Okay, and you trust AI as a source. We're looking at an AI source. Wait.
I think you don't mean. I don't think you understand what I mean. I trust AI as a reliable source, right? When I search something up, always.
The source that it gives. This particular AI gives the source, which is the OpenAI help document that we looked at last time, dude. This is circular.
That's good. And then what did the document say? What did the document say verbatim?
Let's
reread what it said.
Buddy. Deja vu. You and I have read this page before.
Yes,
why are we doing it again though?
No, go ahead. Show it where it says it's unreliable source.
Understand when ChatGPT can be trusted and what it might get wrong and how to critically assess its responses. ChatGPT can be helpful, but it's not always right. ChatGPT is designed to provide useful responses based on patterns and data it was trained on, but like any language model, it can produce incorrect or misleading outputs. Sometimes it might sound confident, even when it's wrong. This is the beginning of this page from the company
that doesn't prove your premise whatsoever. Not at all,
dude.
We already agreed.
This
that
this paragraph fucking paraphrases what I said about it. What are you talking about, dude?
No.
I think I figured out your strategy.
Let me finish.
I'll let you finish after I say this. I think I figured out your strategy, which is that you get me to kick you for completely legitimate reasons and then declare the W, because I am gonna kick you if you want to keep reading this in circles and talking about the same thing. So what do you got? Prove that you're worth time on my show, because too many people watch for me to do this shit.
So your premise is that ChatGPT is an unreliable source. That's not what this here states. It states like any other source, like you agreed, is not always correct. That's what this paragraph states. That's not what your premise
Incorrect
was. Your
definitions, dates, or facts, fabricated quotes. Are you going to find many fabricated quotes on Wikipedia? Studies, citations, references to non-existent sources.
You know what? We should search that up on
overconfident
ChatGPT.
answers to ambiguous or complex questions. Like, no, dude, I'm losing the viewership because you and I have literally had this exact conversation before. You got to say something new or I'm going to kick you.
Okay, once again, you're not proving your premise. Your premise is that ChatGPT is an unreliable source.
Have I proved my premise?
And then you're asking chat.
Yes or no? Yes or no in the chat. Have I proved my premise sufficiently to demand
That's not an argument. Once again, that's not an argument. This is what I'm talking about with your argument strategy. It's like the Dean Wither type shit.
Yeah, dude, I don't know what I could show you that would convince you you're wrong when you're just unwilling to.
What could you show me? Show me evidence to prove the claim, the premise that ChatGPT is an unreliable source. The only thing you've shown is that they sometimes can be wrong. Very rarely.
All right, I am gonna kick you because he literally just said you failed to show that Wikipedia or that ChatGPT is unreliable. You've only shown that it's sometimes wrong, and it's just like, yes, okay, everything is wrong sometimes, but the rate with which it's wrong, that guy's hopeless, and he's gonna think that he won because I kicked him because it's just a waste of my time. We're gonna talk to the bear with an H, BEAHR. the bear. Cool username. I hope the bear is of age, and I hope he's a Trump supporter. How old are you?
I'm not. I'm 39. I actually used to work for OpenAI, and I work for a different firm called Five9. And I just wanted to make sure that guy knew he has no idea what he's talking about.
Oh, I think he's the only guy here who's
been doing it for over 20 years. Please do not use ChatGPT as a undefinable source. As this man just proved, 10 to 15% incorrection rate is why you don't see Forbes 500 companies investing in OpenAI, and they're investing firms because you have more control over it. Jesus, you can drop me now. I can't stand when people come up here and try and defend it. Meanwhile, I've done it for 20 plus years, and these guys have no idea what they're talking about.
Yeah, thank you for the insight. It's absolute. Why is my disconnect button not working? Can I be heard? Oh, are we already having tech difficulties? Bear, are you still here? Oh, there we go. Wow, multi-guest user does not exist. Okay. Let me know. Oh, is it glitching again? This is very bad. This is very bad. Am I back? Let me know if I'm back. Everybody say you're back if I'm back. And thanks for the follow, the bear. You should fix my live. Yeah, I don't know. All right, I am gonna restart the live very, very quickly. Okay, recording and live again. I did do a bunch of work yesterday to try to avoid these problems. I think I solved one of the two problems. I think the interface problem is solved, but the live creator like glitching out. For my troubleshooting, I think the next step is literally reinstalling Windows. Like I need to like fresh start my computer because I'm having a lot of technical difficulties. I couldn't find any documentation for the issue that I run into where apparently for the people watching, it completely freezes. But on my end, it says disconnected, connected, disconnected, connected. It like cycles back and forth, which happens sometimes. Sometimes I have an internet bump and it like I'll disconnect for like half a second and the show keeps going and it's fine. So I'm glad to see the same usernames rolling in. Glad to see that the mods are back. Glad to see that we're back rolling again. I'm working on it, people. I've been yeah, the bear, yeah, not your fault at all. I ran into a tech issue that like was really debilitating for yesterday's show, so hopefully it's not going to happen again, but obviously I haven't solved it. I did do some things between yesterday's show and today to try to get it solved, so I was hoping it would be solved. Apparently not. So thank you, Anna, for sharing the live. Anna always makes sure that everybody in her entire life knows that this live is happening by sharing it with like hundreds and hundreds of people. So thank you very much, Anna. The bear, you were being a smartass. Well, I mean, that's kind of the whole point. People come up and call me a smartass, and I'm like, yeah, that's like kind of the point, right? Like we all have a different flavor of the type of smartass we are on here, but like, I don't know what you expect me to be, but a smartass. The whole point is for people to call in and disagree with me about something, and then I'm supposed to explain why they're wrong. So like, yeah, like it's kind of what you get. Man, oh my God. Okay, who else? Diane is sharing. Gossamer is sharing. Oh my God, thank you so much, everybody. Pam is sharing. Everybody's sharing. Everybody wants people to watch the Oskar Quentin show so that, kids stop researching with ChatGPT. Oh my God. Good morning, Quirky Beautiful. Happy to have you here. And thank you for the heart me from Anna. Yeah, it's exciting that the viewership shoots right back up because I've got enough regular viewers who are excited about this. I will, because I am talking to mostly the regular viewers, I will let you know there is now a Patreon in my link tree. None of my content's going to be behind a paywall. Thank you for the hand heart, Quirky Beautiful. Appreciate you. I'm not going to like have special stuff that you can go do on there. Maybe if I become bigger, that'll be a good way to get in touch with me if you're behind a paywall. But for now, you can just message me literally anywhere. I still read all my messages. So the tiers on there don't do anything. I just set up 5, 10, and 20, and I think I'm going to use the shop function on there to sell the signs because people want to buy the signs. I've saved them all, so I'll write like a little note to you and that sort of thing on there. Anyway, so it's that's there if you want to support me in a continuing type of way, because got to give the commercial for myself, got to do the grift, especially with my work schedule picking back up. I am going to have some inconsistency in my ability to do this every day and in the time that I can do it every day. And straightforwardly, the job that is going to be getting in the way of me streaming at the regular time going forward, because I am still waiting on a schedule update so I can tell you what that's going to be, that I want to quit that job. That I'm not excited about that job. I want to do this instead. So working on that. Jen says, I wouldn't request up either. It's embarrassing to be MAGA. It's one thing that my friends in real life who are following along on Instagram and see that I'm doing this, they keep asking me, like, why do these people call in? And it's like, they all think they're special. They all think that they have the argument. That guy was sure that I'm just such a fool for not using ChatGPT. But I mean, that's all he's got. But I mean, thanks for the content, dude. Like, I'll make a couple Instagram reels of you thinking that ChatGPT is a good source, even though we're looking at a help document from ChatGPT from OpenAI saying it's not. Whatever. Wooly Production says, are we great yet? No. Yeah, no. Tina Jones says, I have potential. Thank you. I have some work and academic experience that makes it not super surprising that I'm able to do this debate thing. But I'm working all the time on trying to get better at it. The Bear says, could you imagine being like ChatGPT is reliable, meanwhile an AI architect is saying he's wrong? Yeah. Well, again, like the beauty of having some success in this is that every now and then I'll say something like, look, I'm not a civil rights attorney, so I don't know exactly how this law works. And then like somebody in the chat will be like, ooh, I'm a civil rights attorney. And I believe them. I've got a good lie detector. These could just be strangers lying on the internet. But I've had some regular callers call in, or I've gotten to know some of these people, and it's like, I have some helpers in the chat who are civil rights attorneys. At the moment, I have a helper in the chat who is a software architect who works on large language models. Used to work at OpenAI. He's telling you he's wrong. So I get to pool some resources. So I always have to give a big shout out to the mod team and to the people who do the live fact checking for me, because one question I've gotten asked by a couple friends of mine is like, how do you stay on? How do you stay so focused up? And I just say, I got to thank the mods. Like, when I was new at this, it took so much of my attention to run the show that it was hard to focus on the conversation. But I have so many other people running the show for me now that I get to really focus on the conversation. And that's, being able to lock in on it is really, really what it is. Because it is, like, dealing with another person's mental gymnastics is kind of its own type of mental gymnastics. Like, they're juggling and they're bad at it, so I have to catch all the balls for them and like keep the conversation going. It's crazy. It's mentally taxing. I always need to like lie down for a half hour after I do the show. I like conk out for a little bit. What is your professional background as much as you want to share? Curious. Well, I have a long history of education. Like, when I was a teenager, I lived in New York. I grew up in New York, and I was like a classic theater kid in some, dinky little theater in Brooklyn. And I ended up getting teaching work doing that. So I taught acting through them. As I like graduated out of the program I was a member of, I started teaching that program. And then the teachers in that theater started teaching public speaking to science students, to STEM students. And because I went to a really dorky STEM high school, they hired me. So for like 6 years running, I taught public speaking to to students of STEM matters. So if you're going to give a big PowerPoint presentation on your science project, on your engineering project, on your whatever type of thing it was, I was the guy who was like getting you to like speak loud and clearly and all that stuff. So I did that for years and years. And then, other than that, I've just had loads of experience generally with education and childcare. Childcare in particular makes me patient enough to deal with these chuds. Like, I literally, when I moved to Minnesota, my first job for a year was being like a toddler, like preschool teacher. I like worked with babies. I taught people how to walk and talk because my kids were like 1 to 2, 12 to 24 months. So basically childcare and like speech and debate kind of, but not really debate. And then I've been politically involved forever. Like I've cared about the issues for so long that I haven't had to do all this background research. I've just kind of was knowledgeable about them. Tina Jones says, hello from Brooklyn. Go eat some halal food. Go to Not Raised Pizza and have a slice on my behalf. If you're in Brooklyn. I love the crossover STEM plus public speaking skills. Yeah, well, that was the whole idea with the program, is that we wanted to turn STEM into STEAM. Add the A for arts, and the idea there is that people who study STEM are brilliant, but they lose out on some of these interpersonal skills that you get from doing the arts. So we taught those skills. I taught people how to effectively communicate their ideas to people. I'm in Minnesota too, rural southern Minnesota. Well, hello, closer neighbor. For those who maybe don't know, I'm here in Minneapolis. So that I've probably had half a dozen calls end where the person finds out I'm from Minneapolis and they're like, of course you're liberal, and they hang up on me, and it's just like, whoa, dude. Like, all right. It takes a village. It certainly does. Nah, I still don't know how you make yourself in the mood to do this the same time every day. Dude, it's kind of a trip. I spend, like, if I'm awake 16 hours a day, I spend 1/8 of my time awake sitting here doing this show. And then I spend, like, another quarter of my time awake working on the show, editing it and processing it and all that stuff, which is why you guys should donate to my Venmo in the link tree in the bio, because I'm really on the grind here, and I need that to work for my we need to make my landlords happy that I'm on the grind. That's important. W Suki. That is Suki back there, wasn't it? Well, there's Merlin back there. No, he's out of frame. There's animals. I got pets. I don't have callers, unfortunately. So if we can get double tapping away on the screen, what do we got? We're not at 10K likes yet, and we're 10 minutes into the reset. So if we got up to 20K in a hurry, that would get some new viewers in here. That would get this pushed a little bit more on the For You page. I know we're not getting pushed too much on the For You page because I only have 2 new followers from the 150 of you that are here. And when I'm getting pushed there quite a lot, I get more followers in a hurry, because the sound of my voice is just that beautiful, apparently. But it is a metric that I know. I think it's just friendlies in here for the most part, because I get new followers when we're getting new viewers in. What's up with the keyboard? It is a keyboard. People have been asking me to do music for like forever on here, and I've realized now that because I have 2 interfaces, I can just plug one into the other. I will be playing piano, like, I don't know, maybe at the end of tomorrow's show, because I think I've figured out the solution to how to get all that piped, because it's not like a actual keyboard that outputs sound. It's just a MIDI controller. My computer makes the sound, which made it hard to tell TikTok how to hear it. But I think I've solved that. Steve says, let's pay him to talk shit about his country. Steve, you're getting muted. I want you to talk to me about the country, because I would argue I'm not talking shit about the country. I respect the country. I respect the Constitution. I respect the rules. I respect decorum. I respect basic American values. Squid says outro music for guests. I have to be careful, because like I could take a moment like this where I don't have a caller and like grab my guitar and sing you guys a song, but it would literally tank the viewership, and that's not even an insult to my capability as a musician. It's just that most people don't like most music, and to people scrolling, if they see a guy playing a guitar and they're not looking for a stream of a guy playing a guitar, they're just going to skip it, and a lot of the people are going to leave. So it's just most people don't like most music. As a musician, I'm not concerned with the fact that the vast majority of people don't like my music. I'm just concerned with finding some people who do, which I'm having success in, like in my life offline. I perform here in Minneapolis. So that's actually going pretty good. I'm a folk musician, for the person asking. Thank you for the hat and mustache. Who sent it? Is that... Oh, I need to make the gift thing wider. Gossamer, thank you for the hat and mustache. Appreciate you. I'm a folk musician, but I mean, I do all sorts of like random stuff. I do a lot of house band music for like for comedy bars, so just like intro outro riffs, so like all sorts of random stuff, like recognizable Green Day riffs and whatnot. Dark Truth is here. Ominous username. Let's hope it's not a child. Dark Truth, how old are you?
I'm 47.
You support Trump?
47. Fuck no. I just want to come up and say this real quick.
Real quick, because it's bad for the show to have friendlies on, so say your piece and get out.
No, it's good. Listen, I just want to say this. You know what? I'm so tired of these people. Like, I just came off of a live, and then it's pretty much like how they're protecting this man who's mentioning these files. I have daughters, right? I have one daughter, and I'm gonna tell you right now, what I just heard on, I went to vomit to my stomach, and you all you cultists, right-leaning people, I hope you burn in hell for voting for this guy. That's all I have to say.
Appreciate you, Dark Truth. Yeah, I a lot of the comments under like Instagram and YouTube, people who aren't in the debate sphere here on TikTok are like, oh man, I hope this guy doesn't have kids, talking about my callers. And it's so sad how many people who have daughters will call in and tell me that the way that Trump talks about women is okay. George is here. George, hopefully he's a Trump supporter. How old is George? How old are you?
21.
Are you a Trump supporter?
Yeah.
Why?
I'm pro deportations.
Okay. Are you pro civil rights?
It depends.
Depends on what?
Who they are.
So people shouldn't have civil rights if they're a group of people that you think shouldn't have civil rights?
Yep.
Okay. Who decides? Who do you think at the government should decide who we get to enforce the civil rights on?
Me.
Okay. Is this a troll? Is this going to be a serious conversation?
No, the reason
I am pro deportations is because I don't believe that diversity is good for society.
No, I asked a really, really important question, and you said me. You said you, because what I'm saying is that if we're gonna say that you might have a right, like say the Fourth Amendment right to protect you from like unlawful search and seizure, or the Fifth Amendment right that gives you right to due process. Because I just want to make sure I'm not like misrepresenting your beliefs. You don't think that those rights should necessarily apply to everybody. You think there's some groups of people who shouldn't get those rights. Is that what I'm understanding?
Well, rights are just like a social construct. They're not actually.
The question is, should the Fourth and Fifth Amendment apply to everybody, or just the people that you think that the Fourth and Fifth Amendment should apply to?
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay, so then the question is, just because now we've clarified, and I've used a couple examples, there's other civil rights that we're talking about, other human rights that we're talking about, but let's just talk about the Fourth and Fifth Amendment. So if the government isn't going to protect the Fourth and Fifth Amendment for everybody, how exactly is the government supposed to decide for whom it is protected? How's that going to work?
If I could have it my way, I would just have it be like only white people were allowed to have access to the country.
Okay, so you're more racist than patriotic, is what I'm understanding.
Well, I appreciate you like calling it racism, but the reality is that like everyone has implicit biases against people that don't look like them.
I'm well aware of what racial bias and implicit xenophobia are. I understand it's like psychologically difficult to be perfectly like colorblind in terms of how you engage with the world. I recognize all of that. You are suggesting that non-white people shouldn't have the Fourth and Fifth Amendment right. Is that correct?
I think they should be separated.
Okay, question again.
They can just go somewhere else.
Okay, I was really specifically trying to figure out how you decide if somebody has the Fourth and Fifth Amendment right protected, and you brought up white people. So are you saying only white people should have the Fourth and Fifth Amendment right protected?
It depends.
On what, dude? I'm trying to figure this out.
I think they can have rights or whatever. Like rights aren't even real, but I'll give them to them. But I don't think that diversity is good for societal cohesion.
Okay, you're pivoting onto something else. You're talking about how much diversity you want. I'd love to talk about your ideas on segregation in just a moment if the chat doesn't tell me to kick you, because I don't think this is a constructive call. But the question again, you said it depends, and I really want to understand what it depends on. How exactly? Like if a police officer, if the government is supposed to exercise, say, due process, the Fifth Amendment right, before shipping somebody to El Salvador or whatever terrible thing is going to happen to them, how do we decide who gets due process and who doesn't?
Like I said earlier, it should be based on ethnicity.
Okay, I mean, I
don't even care. I don't even care if they send white people somewhere else. Like as long as like I am separated from them, then that's all I care about, to be honest. And me and my family members and the people I care about. Honestly, like ideally it would be on like a larger scale, but that's just not realistic for like.
Okay, according to your bio, you're an ethical nihilist and a cynical apathist.
It basically just means that I believe humans are all like.
I mean, if you're an ethical nihilist and an apathist, dude, like you're not. That's why you're dodging all these questions. You don't give a shit about any of this stuff. As long as you get to eat your dinner, you're not going to complain. There's one thing I'll ask you. There's only one direction I'm willing to take this, because obviously you don't care about anything, and you're just racist, and you're not going to answer any of these questions meaningfully.
I think everyone's racist.
I just want to ask you a question. If the authorities kick your door in and take you and ship you to CCOT in El Salvador, and they shave your head and you have to sit upright on a floor for 12 hours a day, or else you'll be beaten, whatever terrible stuff happens at CCOT, it's something like that, will you regret the fact that you supported the government not protecting people's Fifth Amendment right to due process? Yes or no?
It depends.
If that happens, if you get shipped to El Salvador and tortured, would you regret the fact that you supported the government not defending your right that would have protected you from that happening to you?
I didn't support these people to be tortured. Why are you putting those words in my mouth?
Hypothetically, if men kicked your door in and put you on an airplane and you got sent to a torture camp in El Salvador, would you then regret the fact that you did not, in this call with me right now, adamantly defend that everybody should have their right to due process, because it is the right to due process that would have prevented that from happening to you?
I am defending them from being tortured.
This is a yes or no question about a hypothetical.
Yeah, but you're just saying this in a frame of which, like, it's like you're putting words into my mouth, like, and you're acting like I agree.
I'm asking you a question.
With people being sent over to be tortured, but I never said that once.
I'm saying that that's a thing that could happen to you if your right to due process isn't slur and run. But he wasn't going to be on long anyway because that was a pretty meaningless call. But yeah, of course he's not going to answer that. We're going to talk to Steve. Maybe I've talked to Steve before, but the username is just Steve. So okay, new Steve. How old are you, new Steve?
58.
Are you a Trump supporter?
Yes, sir.
Why?
Oh my God, so many reasons. But first of all, just a hypothetical. I mean, not a hypothetical, but just a question. Why do you allow obvious racist people? You should have kicked him from the get-go. Do you do that? Honestly, do you do that
part
just
of what
for
I'm
views,
doing? A big part of what I'm doing is showcasing what people who still support Trump and are willing to call in and defend their support for him are like. And if some of them are like that, I'd like for the world to know that.
But see, that's my point.
You get to show us what kind of Trump supporter you are. Maybe you can tip the scales in the favor of Trump supporters not being...
When you ask a question, you should let somebody answer the question.
Okay, man. What's up? What do you want to talk about?
That's my point, though. See, you allow him to do that ridiculous racist rant, and you're trying to say that, you're trying to compare him to, see, look, this is how Trump supporters are. Mm-hmm. That's so disingenuous, dude. You're better than him.
If you're worried about that, then you've called in. You also get to show the world what Trump supporters are like. Maybe you can tip the scales in favor of Trump supporters not being as terrible as that guy. What kind of Trump supporter are you?
I'm definitely not the racist kind.
We'll see about that. But why do you support Trump?
Well, because liberal. I'm 58 years old, so I've been through a lot more presidents than you've even been alive. Okay.
Whoa, you're older. I guess you must not be racist. That's actually not how that works. But again, I'm not really interested in you like dad mogging me. Like, okay, Pappy, tell me how it is. Why do you support Trump though?
Okay, son. So you're literally saying that every single Republican is a racist? Is that your stance?
No.
That's what you just said.
I don't think I did say that.
Yeah, you did. You said I'm going to show how you are racist.
Yeah, I do a show for 2 hours a day where Trump supporters call in and we learn a little bit about them. The previous caller, very racist.
Just said, out of your mouth, you just said, I will show how you are a racist.
What I said is we'll see about that. Because when we have these conversations, it usually comes out if a person... Well, I'd like to find out if you're racist.
I believe that all Republicans, all Trump supporters are racist.
I think that those most educated about Trump's policies, yes, you have to be. If you're properly educated about what's going on, you've got to be racist to support it. I think if you're fooled into thinking what's happening is good by Fox News or something,
what if I told you I'm black or I'm Hispanic?
Then I'd accuse you of being a race traitor for supporting Trump.
See, then that shows your ignorance right there. You talk smart, but you're really an ignorant person.
Oh, yeah. Well, all I do on here is talk. So if I talk smart, how did you come to the conclusion that I'm an ignorant person?
By that statement you just made right now.
Oh, so I don't talk smart? Which is it?
Well, you can talk smart all you want. Doesn't mean you are smart.
I mean, correct. I don't know. I don't care if you think I'm smart. That's not important to me. I don't care if anybody thinks I'm smart. I'm just trying to talk about the issues.
Okay, so let's talk about the issues. You want to go to Iran?
Sure.
You're totally against what Trump did with Iran, right?
Yeah. Don't like that he started that war. I mean, even we could talk about my opinions about the war, but the place I always like to start about the war is before we even talk about our own opinions about whether or not he should have started that war. How do you feel about the fact that he said he wasn't going to after decades, literally more than 10 years? There's a clip from 12 years ago, him saying that Obama would be a super weak president if he failed to negotiate with Iran in a way that prevented the war. And then Trump threw away those negotiations that Obama did in his first term, and now in his second term has started that war. So I just how do you feel about the inconsistency in his behavior on Iran, regardless of whether or not you think we should have gone to war with Iran?
Yeah, basically, you could have made that really short just by saying, what are your stance on him saying no new wars and him starting a new war? You didn't have to go on the whole.
Forgive me for speaking in such a clear way that all 250 people watching can follow instead of just making sure you understand me. It's something I have to do.
Trust me, all 252 people watching and following have heard that from you probably 10,000 times.
All right, you want to talk about how good I am at running the show, or do you want to talk about your feelings about Iran?
So anyways, you do realize that every president and president wannabe for the last 30 years has said Iran is the number one threat to the U.S. by far. Do you agree with that?
No, I'd need to see the quote from all of the presidents that you just claimed.
I could show you a video right now with Clinton, Obama.
Iran's a threat. Like, I'm not going to deny that. I'd want to see proof of your claim.
No. You said you want to see the quote. I can show you literally video quotes of all of them saying those exact words.
I mean, do you have like a supercut of all of them?
Yep.
Okay, what do I search to find it?
I have it. I can send it to you.
Well, what do I search to find it so that people watching can also search to find it?
Well, let me see, because I have it on my TikTok. I saved it.
Okay.
So I don't know how would I tell you where I searched.
I don't actually think it's a good use of our time because I do recognize that Iran is a big threat. I'm not saying they aren't.
Okay, so we agree on that.
Yeah, they are bad guys, real bad. Those Iranians,
and
the government, not the people.
Right, and I love the people. But do you feel? Do you feel that if they did get there? Okay, let me ask you this: if we stuck to Obama's deal with them,
the JCPOA, right. Yeah.
Okay, and they secretly built a nuke and dropped it on Israel, then you would say, "Oh my God, why didn't we do nothing to stop that?"
Well, so the problem I have with that question is that it supposes that Iran was violating the JCPOA, and there's no evidence of that.
Except for the fact that they've been chanting death to America and Israel for 40 years.
I could go outside and chant death to any particular country. Does that mean that the government is violating treaties that we have with that country?
No, but I guarantee you'll get a knock on your door.
Well, I mean, I'm waiting for the knock on the door because I think I may have gathered the attention of the FBI with some of my protest activities, but that's a separate question. The question was, you say that because they're chanting death to America, that means that they're violating the JCPOA.
And the numerous attacks on embassies across the
We're not going to move past. We're not going to move past it.
Why? It's the same thing.
You haven't answered my question. My question is, why do you think that people chanting death to America in the streets is evidence that the Iranian government is violating the JCPOA?
Because they have shown in the past that they have actually tried to kill Americans. I don't know if I can say that.
That doesn't have anything to do with my question.
Well, yes, it does. I'm actually answering it. I'm literally answering it. If
people in Iran choose to say the phrase "death to America," what does that have to do with the terms of the JCPOA and whether or not they are being abided by the Iranian government?
Because you're saying how does that not show that they may be breaking the treaty and doing it?
The treaty is very specific. It doesn't say anything about chanting death to America in the streets. It has very particular terms about nuclear enrichment.
So what you're saying is you've already admitted that the Iranian government are not good people, right?
Yeah, they are our enemies. Absolutely.
Right. Okay. So you are saying it's impossible to think that they would do something.
That's not what I said. I asked for proof that they're violating the JCPOA, and the proof that you gave is that people chant death to America, and I'm trying to understand why you think that's proof that the Iranian government was violating the JCPOA. It doesn't make any sense to me at all.
It's not proof, but there's something called...
Then I'll ask the question again. If you admit that that's not proof that they're violating the JCPOA, I will just ask the question again. What is your proof that the Iranian government was...
dropping a nuke on Israel? That would be your proof?
I mean... Well, the JCPOA has been...
Sorry, sweetheart. We don't fucking live in the world like that, okay?
I'm answering your question. The JCPOA was thrown away in Trump's first term. So if they did that...
Right, which should have been.
Okay, but I'm answering your question. So if Iran dropped a nuke on Israel, it would actually not suggest to me that they're violating the JCPOA because they've been out of the JCPOA for 5 years. If they dropped a nuke on Israel while the JCPOA was in effect, or immediately after, like too fast for them to have done the work, that would suggest to me they had violated it. But that didn't happen. And it doesn't matter whether or not I think that would be proof. What I'm asking is, what is your proof that they were violating the JCPOA?
Other than the fact that they're doing enriching their uranium underground and already had it over 60% when they shouldn't have. How about that?
Ooh, that sounds like proof that Iran is violating the JCPOA. What do I Google to find evidence of that?
I'm on my phone right now. I'm not on a computer, so I cannot give you any place.
Oh, it's great. I'm on a computer, and I'm ready to type into Google. What do I type?
Type whatever you like, sunshine.
Well, you're the one who's here trying to prove that
I'm not trying to prove anything.
Iran.
I'm just trying to say what you asked me why I support Trump, and that's why I support him.
Okay, you said that they were enriching uranium to 60%. How do I find evidence of that? I'm sitting here at Google.
Because that's what Trump's what do you call it? His team, his team, okay. Right? That's what they told him, right?
Oh, or no? No, I don't think that's what they told him. I'm trying to figure this out. What do I Google to look this up? We're doing it right now together.
So wait a minute. So you think that Trump just sat there and woke up one morning and say, "I want to go bomb Iran"?
The question is, what do I Google search to see if what you just said is true?
I don't know. Why do you guys always do the same thing?
Why do you think it's true? Yeah, who told you this? Why do you think this is true?
Because it's called 40 years of listening to Iran's bullshit.
Oh, okay, right. So I'm a younger man. Share your wisdom. How do I see that you're the one telling the truth? What do I Google?
I know for sure that for 47 years, Iran has been responsible for killing multiple.
You made a very specific claim. You said that under the JCPOA, Iran was enriching uranium to 60%. You said that about
never said that. Never.
The topic right now is that Iran was violating the JCPOA. You said that they were enriching the uranium to 60%. I'm just gonna like hold your hand.
You got me
to 60% uranium.
And why is it underground?
I'm trying to like look up what you brought to the table. Like, what are we talking about? Is this what you want? Arms Control Association, Iran accelerates highly enriched uranium production. Is maybe this what we should look at?
Maybe that sounds good.
Maybe, yeah. Let's see when this is from. Just first of all. Okay, this is from the beginning of last year, January or February 2004, which again is 5 years after Trump threw away the JCPOA. So I don't think this is a good source for that.
Why not? But is it uranium? I don't care when it happened. Were they building the uranium up?
Okay, I like the question again is you claimed that they're violating the JCPOA. I really pressed. What's the question, dude?
Were they building their uranium up to weapons grade?
No, only to 3%, which was allowed under the JCPOA for the production of nuclear energy facilities, which is pretty normal for a nuclear arms agreement.
Okay, so what's your source on that?
I mean, that's just what the language of the JCPOA was, and
right. So you trust the that bullshit more than you believe them, but you don't believe. I mean, you believe basically Iran is, but by you believing them, you're believing Iran. You do know that, right?
Well, no. So part of the JCPOA is that we get like hundreds of visits per year, like boots on the ground to these facilities, men with clipboards who are nuclear energy experts to literally tour the buildings.
Yeah, and they're showing them exactly what Iran is letting them see.
Right. I admit that it is it's logically possible that Iran was lying. I'm asking you for proof because you're claiming that ardently.
That's my point. That is my point.
Yes, I trust any agreement with anybody. It is a logical possibility that the agreement is being violated in some way. Just supposing the possibility of them disagreeing with it doesn't mean that it's being violated.
That's my whole basis of my point. I don't trust Iran at all.
So just to be clear, you have absolutely no proof for your claim.
I don't need proof.
Yes, you do. And I show you absolutely do. I'm not willing to. If you want to tell me that you don't have proof and it's all about your precious little feelings, we can drop the topic and talk about something else. But I'm not interested in talking about things you don't have proof for. What?
Your question was why I support him, right?
Yeah, it sounds like it's because of your precious little feelings about Iran and not empirical evidence.
No, I support him because he did what needed to be done. That's my opinion. And also 80 million other people.
Do we need to bomb that school? Did those 170 girls need to die?
No, they didn't need to die, but we did not target that school. We did not target that school.
Well, that I always forget. Was it a Tomahawk missile? Whichever type of missile it was. It had a little computer on board, and the computer was aimed at a target, and the target was an elementary school, and 175 girls. 174 guys, girls, whatever it is. Thank you for the galaxy, Nick.
Unfortunately, though, in war, sometimes there are something called casualties of war.
Yes, I recognize that innocent people may die in a conflict, and that's sometimes okay.
Then why do you bring it up?
Because when we cause such casualties, it's really important to make sure that it was for a good reason. And I'm just trying to get you to tell me what the good reason is.
I've already told you we don't want Iran getting nuclear power.
That's why we actually we do want them getting nuclear
Not
power.
Weapons.
Yeah. Weapons. Okay, yeah, you misspoke. That's fine. I'm not going to dunk on you for misspeaking. But yeah, that's why we had the JCPOA, because Trump 12 years ago had a video where he said that Obama would be a weak president if he couldn't negotiate a deal and went to war with them instead. And then Trump did what, according to him, was a weak thing, which is to throw out those negotiations and
You're
go to war with
yourself
them.
again, sunshine.
I do that a lot on this show. Not going to lie.
I can see. You literally almost as a script. You literally said the same exact thing, bro.
Yeah, dude, because dumb fucks like you keep calling in and telling me that they were violating the JCPOA when they weren't.
Breakfast with my wife and daughter. It's delicious time. So I appreciate you, but my point is, not all Republicans are racist. Keep that in mind. Love you. Bye.
I don't love you. Bye. Oh, sorry. I just declined somebody in the chat because he left right when I went to click him. So Fabio, was it? Please come right back. Can I invite you? Are you in my queue? There's so many people watching. It's going to be hard to find you. My goodness. Oh yeah, he's back. Okay. Thank you. Perfect. That was Fabio does it all. One word. Fabio does it all. Hopefully he's a Trump supporter.
How are
Good. I'm a little upset. The previous call was very frustrating. Are you a Trump supporter?
I am not, actually, thankfully.
All right. Wait, really quick. How old are you?
21. I sound young, but I promise.
All right. You got 10 seconds. Say your piece and get off my show because it's bad for viewership.
Steve, you were yapping, bro. He's literally saying that we went to war off of a whim. That's like the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah.
But yeah, you have a good day, man.
You have a good one as well. Yeah. Trust me, bro. It was definitely worth bombing the school. That was the guy's whole argument. Trust me, bro. We definitely had good reason to bomb that school by accident. Because I will admit, I'm an honest enough host to say that, like, Trump didn't wake up in the morning and think, hey, Pete Hegseth, we should bomb a school today. And then they went and bombed a school. Clearly, what actually happened is that there was a military facility in Iran where one building of that, like, complex used to be part of the complex and became a school. And we actually had intel that it was a school. So it was negligence that we bombed the school because the targeting software for like doing this airstrike on this facility hadn't been updated in like fucking 8 or 10 years or something crazy like that. What I'm mad at them about is not admitting it, because they made an egregious mistake that they had the intel to not make, and that is just a fuck up. And big fuck ups like that do legitimately happen in war. And when I say legitimately, I mean it doesn't actually make the president a war criminal for there to be a terrible accident like that in warfare. But because terrible accidents like that happen in warfare, you need to have a good fucking justification to start a war. And I have worked at too many schools with too many children to not be really upset about accidentally bombing a fucking school. It's those kids' parents that might be planning terror attacks against the United States. Like, that's like, if we're even going to be selfish about it and just say that we're Americans. I don't have a caller, so get double tapping away on the screen so we can get some new Trump supporters in here to come tell me some other nonsense. What have we had today? Today we've had ChatGPT as a good source, even though ChatGPT tells you itself that it's not a good source. And we've had, trust me, bro, we should have bombed that school. Southern Stud says it's a conflict, not a war. You disagree with the president and... oh, there we go. Yeah, you already got muted. My mods were just ahead of me. Suspicious username, white man's bargain basement. Satire? We'll see. How old are you?
27, brother. How you doing?
Doing all right. Are you a Trump supporter?
No, sir. I'm an independent libertarian. I actually wholeheartedly deplore everything that Trump's been doing in his administration. I just wanted to point this out real quick. I don't know if you'd noticed. That guy said that he was having breakfast, whatever he was doing with his family, whatever, and he said delicious time. I just want to have a quick question. What the fuck is delicious time?
I don't know, man. If he calls breakfast with his wife delicious time, I think that's kind of sweet.
I think it's beautiful, and honestly, it was just a great interaction. I just want to say, rock on, brother. I appreciate everything you're doing.
Have a good one, man. Thanks for hopping up. If you're a Trump supporter, do hit that request button. But Biden. Yes, Chad. It's always but Biden. We actually haven't had but Biden today. I don't think anybody has said but Biden today. We did have Obama come up, but I brought him up, so that's fair. Glenn says, I must really think I'm important. I don't think I'm important. Some of my viewers do, which is very exciting. It's the most wonderful time of the day. Weird. Obama. Man, Chad is cruising, but nobody wants to talk. Maybe I should take a look at the donations. Maybe I can see if I have any donations to read. I actually do, because one came in right at the end of the show yesterday, so I should give Ethan his airtime. He says, Happy May Day. Oh, and that's Palantir Hater. Yeah, so thank you, Palantir Hater. He's a regular viewer. He's here almost. Is he here right now? I'm going to have to wait for him to be here. I'll remember to give him his shout out. Let's see if we got anything on Cash App. Nothing there. All right, but we did have Notable Nick who sent a Galaxy today, so I appreciate that. He's donor of the day for that. But about to have my own delicious time. Monk says, give it a few months. The only person who would admit to voting for Trump will be Archie Bunker. Well, I'm curious about this. This is just something longitudinally I'm curious about the course of American history. Is like in 10, 20, 30 years, I'm very curious to see polling data on like if people voted for Trump, because I think people are going to start lying and say that they didn't. I think people are going to throw the flags away and you maybe hide them in their attic, like maybe their grandfathers did with certain memorabilia. Maybe put them next to some other flags that they keep in the attic. I think people are going to be pretty ashamed of the fact that they supported Trump when they see what happens to American politics because of him. Because I feel like I should have a counter like on a sign up on the wall back here or something that says like days to the midterm, because it's like closing in and they keep trying to pass the SAVE Act, and if they do pass the SAVE Act, it's going to be real bad. LMAO, host thinks he's guaranteed to be here in 20 years. Is that some kind of vague threat? What do you elaborate? TikTok ref 4. Please let me know what you mean by that. The snowflakes are melting. Yeah, they really are. Like they're starting to see that it's pretty ridiculous. God, the entire chat is just blowing up about delicious time. Was it that funny? Thank you so much for showing people Trump is a racist. Yeah. I wish that previous guy stayed on long enough for us to make an assessment about whether or not he's racist, but he kind of just ran away. Halfway through the show, 2 good calls. My cats are fighting. No, they're playing. They're not fighting. They don't really fight. All my cats love each other. They just wrestle a lot. If you heard that. Yes, it was out of pocket, delicious time. Okay, all right. All the young people think life is just guaranteed. It's crazy. But yeah, I understand. It's like I could get hit by a bus tomorrow. I could have an aneurysm right now. Like of course I might not be alive in 20 years. I recognize my own mortality. I have to do that as a protester in Minneapolis. There's lots of things that could unalive me. How many cats do I have? I have 3 cats, because I had 1 cat from when I was young, and then I had an ex that we both got kittens in, and because the kittens are a bonded pair, when we broke up, one of us had to take both of them, and I'm very happy I got to keep all my pets. So I have 3 cats and a dog who I think is, nope, that's my guitar over my shoulder. She's usually visible on the bed behind me. JB Garashi says, of course he has cats. A lot of people are like, oh, soy boy with the cats, and it's just like, yeah, dude, like loving animals is a green flag, not a red flag. You gotta know that. Favorite SpongeBob reference? Ooh. It's not a boulder. It's a rock. It's a rock. I think so. The pioneers used to ride these babies for miles. Yeah, old school SpongeBob. SpongeBob makes me think of my dad. He really loved SpongeBob. Dogs are good too. Yeah, I do have a dog. She'll probably make an appearance later. My leg. Yeah, my leg is probably the champion SpongeBob reference, right? Hello from NYC. Yeah, please go eat some delicious New York food that I can't get in Minneapolis, and think about me while you do it. Go get some lamb over rice with pita from a street corner halal cart. That would make me very happy. Go get a bacon, egg, and cheese at a bodega and enjoy the fact that it's turkey bacon, because the bodega is also halal and isn't going to sell you bacon. That would make me happy. OG SpongeBob was really, really good, but we're losing the viewership because we don't have any people coming up and saying what they think about Trump. We don't have any Trump supporters who don't yet regret it, trying to explain to us why they don't regret it. Halal, is that Sharia law? Halal is just like the Muslim equivalent of kosher. So when you buy food from somebody who's a practicing Muslim, they're not going to sell you bacon, which is why they eat a lot of like lamb and stuff like that. So a lot of the food I really like from growing up in New York happens to be halal food. Happens to just be yeah, I think that guy was kidding, but hey, may as well announce it for everybody. Taylor says, well, that's it. There's no more MAGA. We've won. We're getting there. I've been saying this a lot lately, but even just in the time I've been doing this, since February was, I think, when I did my first debate live, I feel like the tone is changing, you know? Like I have these like legitimate calls with just these, admittedly, sorry to these callers, but like these doofuses that like just like don't understand how any of this stuff works. And they sit and talk to me sometimes for like a really long time, and I convince them, and they're just running out of those people. It's people who are just too brainwashed to be saved, or people who are so racist that they like what's happening. Where in NYC am I from? Lower Manhattan. I'm like a proper New Yorker. I like took the subway to New York. Juan says, hope that's correct. Yeah, I mean, I kind of feel that way. I literally did this thing last week where I like went and listened to a bunch of old debate lives from like before my time, from like a year ago, and the tone is just, it's getting so angry and racist. Everybody who calls is just a monster, and it's like, well, yeah, if you've been sitting calling into debate lives to talk about politics for a year and nobody's convinced you, you probably are the problem. Like that's kind of what we're left to see. Yeah, Spanish Harlem. Yeah, I went to school up on like 145th Street, so I know Harlem pretty well. Went to high school up in Harlem. Let's see. Appreciate all the shares. Appreciate the likes rolling in. Like, I'm not even going to pester the chat all that much. You guys are doing the likes. We got, we're showing new viewers. We got new followers today. The live's very healthy, but nobody here wants to talk to me. Nobody wants to come, debate. Scott says I'm a master debater. Sorry, I like the joke. It's childish, but I like me a good dick joke. Let's see. Do we have anybody who should be coming up? Are there even any Trump supporters in the chat? Maybe we can lure some magazine with the promise of delicious time. Perhaps. I got to scroll up. Did we? We may have scared them all away. I don't know. I mean, I feel like it was just a few weeks ago where I realized like this is going well enough for me that I should just post the whole thing as a podcast, which is why you can watch the whole show after the fact on YouTube. But it is like all the people who watch the clips on Instagram just accuse me of like cherry picking the moments where I look good, and like never mind like compliments to me. It's just I don't think people call in and make good arguments. Like I don't think I have to work all that hard to tear these arguments apart because they're just bad. Because nobody can call in and make a good argument for why Trump should be the president, because there just isn't a good argument for why Trump should be the president. That's the armor I wear. It's impossible to give me a good argument that Trump should be the president, because he shouldn't be, for so many reasons that no matter what topic you bring up, if you find one topic where he's going to perform better than Biden or something, it's just like, oh, did you find a needle in the haystack of one good thing he's going to do? Yeah, not worth it, like Operation Warp Speed. Good job. You also promoted people not taking the vaccines that Operation Warp Speed was for. I would have preferred a president that would have done Operation Warp Speed and also told people that they should definitely get the vaccines instead of injecting bleach, for fuck's sake. My God, the misinformation. Burdette 7067 is here. I hope this is an ops call. I hope it's a Trump supporter, but we're going to ask the question we always start the call with. Burdette, please connect so I can ask the question. I
can ask the question.
How old are you?
I am 65 years old.
65 years old. Are you a Trump supporter?
Western New York. No, I am not.
All right, say your piece and get out of here, because it is real bad for the live stream to have friendlies up this early in the show.
Well, you can drop me right now. I'm sorry. I mean, I didn't realize that.
No worries. It is just, it's like I'd love to take like the odd 5-10 minute like friendly call, which I do at the end of the show. It's 11 and I plan to go to 12 today. So, like in 40 minutes or something, I'll start taking friendly calls. It just, in terms of, I have to run the show in a way that gets it promoted on TikTok and gets people to stop and come and listen. And if it isn't an oppositional call, the new people who are seeing the stream on the For You page just skip. Like, people are only here for opposition. So when I do friendly calls at the end, I'm sacrificing the views. I'm saying like, all right, we're done promoting the stream. We can just hang out and have fun, talk about things, echo chamber it up, which is fine. I'm happy to have positive, productive conversations with friendlies. It's just, in terms of what I'm trying to accomplish by running the live, it is bad for the show. I used to think the debate hosts are all really rude for immediately skipping friendlies, but once I started doing it, I totally get it. It's just an algorithm thing, unfortunately. But I do appreciate that so many friendlies want to call in and say hi. Foxfire says, Trump is excellent at manipulating the stock markets with the Iran war. Yeah, I was talking about that earlier in the show. He literally declared the Iran war over yesterday. He said that our military operations have concluded or whatever. Funny, said that right before market close on Friday. Couldn't possibly have anything to do with market manipulation. Drew says, regret what? MAGA, which is just an abbreviation that means Trump supporters. I am suggesting that Trump supporters will regret supporting Trump eventually in their lives. Most of them, obviously. Not all of them, I can only fit so many words on the sign. I get a lot of good recommendations for signs I should hang over my shoulder. A lot of them are just too wordy. It's like hard to find a catching sign that will get people to stop and debate with me. That's like 4 words long. Just something I can write with my big fat boy Sharpie, so that it's visible on the phone screen. way better than the alternatives. Drew, the whole show is about you right now, dude. Like, I'm literally sitting here waiting for you. So you're going to be muted in the chat, and that is just to encourage you to hit the request button and join the show. I want to, like, if you think that Trump is way better than the alternatives, please tell me why. I really want to know. I like, the chat can tell you if you're going to believe them. I'm good faith. I'm not going to immediately start clowning on you. Like, I really want to give you a chance to explain why. If you are right, my show is the sort of one where you get to show it to everybody. So just, please, if you think that that's the case. Foxfire says Taco Tuesday. Yes, Trump always chickens out. Well, it's hard, It's like he manipulated the market with tariffs. And then that stopped working because the market stopped believing him when he said he was going to change the tariff rules. And now he started the war, and we're seeing a similar thing where it's like the boy has cried wolf so many times that, like, the stock market reacted really aggressively to the start of the war, but now it's kind of mostly ignoring what he says about it. So the swings are smaller and smaller and smaller. There's no box for request. Mods, help me invite that person. I don't know why not everybody gets the request box. Might have to do with, you just got an invitation to join from the moderator, so you should be able to hop in the call. You should have a notification on your screen about that. This is like one of the things that I really like. I guess here's my thing about the White House Correspondents' Dinner attack. I don't actually think it was staged. I know I'm like against the grain on that. That's an extraordinary claim, and I require extraordinary proof for extraordinary claims, and I just don't actually think that, like, for example, there was friendly fire. A Secret Service agent accidentally shot a different Secret Service agent in the bulletproof vest, so they survived. But, like, if they were all ready for it, I don't think that would have happened. It's possible they wouldn't have told them to, like, make it more convincing. I just don't actually think there's good evidence that it was staged. But the fact that so many people immediately concluded that it was staged is indicative of the fact that the boy is crying wolf too much. The villagers aren't coming to his rescue anymore. Like, people should freak out when the president gets, when there's an attempt on the president's life, and when the reaction from most Americans is that it was staged. Like, that's an indication that the administration does lie in some seriously big ways. So that's just not, that's the story. The story isn't that it was staged. The story is that everybody immediately concluded that it was staged. The American government is losing the faith of the people. Like, that's the big problem. People don't fucking believe what the president says, with good reason. That's bad. That is really bad. Admin wanted chaos. Yeah, they have it. It's chaotic when people don't believe what the government says. It's Kagawa says, I suspect his announcement had more to do with the 60-day grace period of the war, not the markets. Yeah, but the grace periods and deadlines never materialize, Like, when has Trump made it to the end of a 2-week deadline without changing his mind about something? Last time he made it to the end of a 2-week deadline and didn't change his mind, it's because he, like, threatened to liquidate Iran or whatever. He said he was going to destroy an entire civilization. He said an entire civilization is going to die tonight if he doesn't get what he wanted. And then they got the ceasefire. And then 2 of the 3 parties in the ceasefire violated it within 24 hours of it being agreed upon. Like, it's a mess. It's just constantly flip-flopping. Not staged, but the admin knew Allen was in the hotel. I mean, possibly. I don't know. The briefing afterwards, they didn't seem scared, shocked, or worried, though. Yeah, I mean, again, like, there's reasons to doubt. There's suspicious things about this. I really have to be, like, super duper sure about like, saying that, I'm a conspiracy theorist at the end of the day. Like, the Epstein thing, the Epstein files situation, literally a conspiracy theory. I think it's a correct conspiracy theory. It's just that I literally think there is a conspiracy happening among elected Republicans to protect these predators of children. So to say that the White House Correspondents' Dinner shooting was staged is a conspiracy theory. So I'm not, like, opposed to accusing this administration and our elected Republicans of doing a conspiracy. I just need good evidence, and there's mountains and mountains of hard, concrete court document evidence that there's a conspiracy happening with the Epstein case. I just, if I'm going to accuse the government of staging a shooting, I really, really need to be as sure about that as I am about the Epstein files, and I'm not. So I need to. It would discredit everything I've said about the Epstein files for me to say that I'm that sure that it was staged. It's just not the way I operate. And there's people asking all sorts of good questions. I mean, like, somebody asked, I lost the comment already, but somebody just asked, why did they put out an AI video? Who was it? That was I don't know how to pronounce this username, Muanon4. They said, why did they put out an AI video? They put out AI videos every day. You know, Trump put out an AI video of him dumping feces on his constituents from a fighter jet that said King Trump on the side of it. This is from the party that was mad at Obama for wearing a tan suit. Like, it's just insanity. There's a bit of an information blitz happening where it's like, as much as is like, you know, they just throw so many things at us that it's all just confusing and overwhelming. And even me sitting here spending hours and hours a day focusing on it is just like, it's still hard to keep up with it. My God, am I still talking about Obama? I try to not talk about Obama too much. I just like pointing out that the Republicans are still upset about Obama's tan suit. Conspiracy has a definition different than conspiracy theory, no longer a theory. Well, okay, Taylor, I will be specific and say that while I think you're right, it's obviously a conspiracy, the Epstein files. I do have theories about that conspiracy. Like, it's not a theory that they're hiding the Epstein files. That's happening in broad daylight. But I can only theorize as to what's in the hidden Epstein files. And so I just have to be careful about how I talk about it, you know? Like, you'll notice that I very ardently call Trump a rapist because he is one. Like, it's been found to be the case in court. Judges have ruled that you are allowed to say Trump is a rapist. It's not libel because it's literally true. But I always say that he probably touched kids because I'm not as sure that he touched kids as I am that he's a rapist. So, like, I just have to exercise the integrity of making the difference. Is that it? Is that all she wrote? One conversation today about ChatGPT, and then the other about I got flagged for misinformation. How funny. Well, I was talking about some naughty stuff. I'm gonna restart the live, and maybe that'll get us some new viewers in here. So if you're not following me, go ahead and follow me. I was even, as I was talking, I was like, I'm saying too many words in one sentence. I'm talking about the little ones and the actions of the president in the same sentence, and I find I get flagged for that. So gotta watch out for that. But yeah, go ahead and follow me. I'm going to be offline for like 2 seconds, so you don't have to go anywhere. Just stay here. In a second, my username is going to pop up on the screen. It's going to say live has ended. Just click on it, wait, refresh the page. I'll be live again in like 1 second. But give me a follow if you're not following me already. That makes it easy to find me if you accidentally swipe out. But going offline now. Okay, we're back. Hopefully we're back. Tech issues again today, but I think that's TikTok. That little glitch I was having, I think that's probably... I worry that's something I can't fix, which is a shame. But I'd love to get another good call. I mean, it's 11:17. We got plenty of time in the show. And I will just say to those who are returning fast enough that the schedule might change, so stay tuned for that. And for those listening on YouTube, because you guys are still here, I will just give you a moment to go hit up the link tree in my bio, follow me on the other platforms. That helps me for free. Or if you want to support me directly, there are direct and obvious ways to do that. Anyway, I do appreciate all the support, because I could not spend the 4 to 6 hours a day I spend running this show if it wasn't making some kind of money. So working on that. Also, Patreon is a thing now. I have barely set it up, and you're not going to get anything for being in the Patreon unless you want to buy some of the signs from me. I'm still setting that set up. No paywalls, not putting my show behind a paywall or anything like that. Anyway, that's just the lazy commercial because my attention is split at the moment. There are ways to support me if you want to do that. But the best way you can support me right now, if you're watching this live on TikTok, is to get double tapping away on the screen so we can get pushed out to the For You page and get some new viewers in here. Because I think the 200 people we had watching a moment ago were all people who had either called in and knew it wasn't going to go well for them, or people who were just waiting to see more calls. So let's get some new Trump supporters in here. Am I serious about doing a podcast? Well, so I do this show as a podcast. You can watch the whole show, 2 hours of it that I make every day on YouTube. And I've been, for a while before that, I was just posting select conversations, but I just got to the point where it's a lot of work to cut those. And then also the show is getting high quality enough. I'm getting good enough at sitting here yapping and talking to the chat to fill the dead air. And I get enough callers because my channel is big enough on here that I consider the show like worth watching in its entirety. Though I do put in the description of the YouTube VODs that are the posted version of this show, the timestamps of when the opposition calls start. So if you're not interested in sitting and putting up with me talking to the chat for the sometimes very long stretches where I have to, you can just, when the calls end, you can just go to the description and click the next one. It'll just take you to the next call. Oh, I mean, so yeah, White Man's Bargain Basement is saying that he'd love to co-host with me if he wants. Maybe if I get to know you a little bit better, maybe you can hop up in friendly time and we can talk about that. I do have to say, as a person who has social media that's growing very, very quickly, I do just have to give a polite default no to people who want to work with me on stuff because it's too many people. And for the most part, not accusing you of this specifically, for the most part, it is people who are just trying to swim in my wake as I meteorically rise up through this thing. The number of protesters here in Minneapolis who have asked me to put their GoFundMe in like the description of my Instagram account is sickening. Like, there's a link tree in my bio to support me. I don't make enough money for this to be sustainable, so I'm like exhausted and I don't have a social life right now, and I've like not spent enough time on music in the last 2 months. I'm like out of practice on playing guitar. It sucks. I'm like really sacrificing to keep this thing going, and you think that I'm gonna give your GoFundMe traffic? Like, I need to make it for this to work. Also, like, if like people want me to post a video talking about this or that, doing this particular thing, and at the end of the day, it doesn't matter that I have that many followers. Instagram is still fundamentally the decider of whether or not I like perform well on their platform. Like, I can't just like post a bunch of garbage. People ask me to collab on videos with them because it'll get their videos more views, like that sort of thing. It's just like not how it works. Make better videos. Make better videos. That's what you got to do. I don't know what else to say. There's ways I can promote people. I mean, people who hop up, if you come on during friendly hour, or maybe you have some expertise that makes it worth me bringing you up for a particular call, you can totally demonstrate to my audience that you're a good host and that you should be followed, and people will go over to your page. I have friends. I mean, DiavaTalks is literally here, and she's a much bigger page that has done exactly that for me. I've hopped up on her show and kind of given the commercial for myself. Like, there's symbiosis to that, but you just have to bring something to the table. You have to actually be good at it. That comes first at the end of the day. But I've experienced the same thing like in my music career, which is that like once you start performing and once you get the odd gig here or there, because I'm not like making a ton of money as a musician, but I do get to perform live. I do get to like perform in some pretty like good rooms. Like, people immediately want to start working on music with you. People immediately want to get a piece of it. I have people come up, they're like, "Hey, dude, can we do shows together?" And I'm like, "What does that even mean? Like, what are you talking about? Are you offering me a show that I'm not already booked on, or like what do you want? What do you want from me?" But you have to in person. You have to handle it in a way that's more polite than that. And some of those people are worth working with, but I find that the ones who are worth working with just demonstrate that to you instead of asking. Like, that's really what it is. Just do good work. But yeah, I'd love to get another call in, everybody. If we get double tapping away, 5,000 likes, there's 75 of us back from the restart. Yeah, Diava's reminding me to focus on politics. Is there news to talk about? We got the indictments, but I mean, we've talked about that so much this week. I do still plan on having the Minnesota Angry family, who were indicted this week for their parking lot fight at the Whipple, on the show if their lawyers will allow it. I am just glad I waited until after the federal indictment, because that's really the story. It's this disproportionate federal response. VRA says Ali Alejandro, or whatever that username is. What do you mean? VRA? What does that stand for? But yeah, let's talk about Trump. Let's get a Trump supporter in here who thinks that they're not going to regret being a Trump supporter. Or maybe we can declare an early friendly time because they're not showing up. Maybe Diava can hop up if she wants to. Because I know she's not in TikTok jail anymore. I saw her live yesterday. But gotta avoid the TikTok jail because we don't have free speech on this private platform. Unfortunately. Survivor says, Minnesota, the most fucked up state on the map. I'm sure this guy has a tampon dispenser. Survivor, please come talk to me. Let's talk about your feelings about Minnesota. That can be the topic. But you're muted for today to encourage you to click the request button and get on up here. Can I just click his name and request to join him, or do I have to go into this other window and do it? Let's see. Where is Survivor? I wish it let me search. Why doesn't it let me search? I have this big page of people I can invite, and I wish I could just search Survivor on it. Anyway. Have you seen Oompaville's video on the journalist unalivement conspiracy? No. He has 0 followers, says DiavaTalks. Is he bot behavior? Sure. Hello, Elvis Trump. Elvis Trump must get off work at 11:25 because he always pops in at 11:25. Senate bans senators and staff from trading on prediction markets. Do they really? That's news? That's good. I don't think our politicians should be trading. Insider trading is hard to solve, though, because what's to stop a politician from just advising a friend or family member to make the trades that they would make? And that's going to be the problem. That's going to be the case with politicians. That's going to be the case with people who have any insider information from a company. It's a really hard nut to crack. How do you prevent insider trading? Because at the end of the day, you can only speculate. Did somebody have a lucky did somebody have a lucky guess, or did they have some insider information? And yeah, it's still, the fact that they're doing it in broad daylight is bad. We should at least give them some kind of law to try to find a loophole around. But yeah, let's see. Where is it? Did they say the Senate bans it? Senate banned from trading. And that's predictions markets, right? So that's not the stock market. That's things like options or futures. That was passed on the 30th, according to Politico. Senate, did they unanimously vote? Senate, let's see, we can take a look at some news. Senate Thursday unanimously voted to ban senators and their staff from trading on prediction markets, a practice that has come under growing scrutiny on Capitol Hill in recent months. The Senate doesn't do very much unanimously, so that's interesting. The resolution, spearheaded by Senator Bernie Moreno, Republican from Ohio, prohibits senators and staff from using prediction markets. It goes into effect immediately. Well, I'm glad it had bipartisan support. A little surprised, but I mean, yeah, it seems to me like it's a good law. I'd have to look at exactly how it works. And also exactly what they mean by predictions markets. Because like I said, the stock market isn't technically a predictions market. That's an equity market. So futures markets and options contracts, is that what they're talking about? Do I think that Trump is the U.S.'s worst president? You know, like, people like Dean Withers are always quick to say, like, worst president in living memory, like worst president of your life or mine, which basically just means going back to World War II, because that's about as old as the people we've got. And I think he's definitely the worst president in the last, 80 years. We've had some bad presidents, Trail of Tears. Who was that? History buffs in the chat. Who was responsible for the Trail of Tears? Was it Garfield or somebody? Like, the presidents in the 1800s sometimes owned slaves. Like, it's hard to compare. Jackson. Was it Garfield or both? More votes for Jackson in the chat. I don't feel like fact checking it, but yeah, like so again, like, he compared. If we have to go back to before the Civil War to find a president that's worse than Trump, I think the point's kind of made at that point. And again, it's like really hard to it's really hard to compare things like for example, quality of life. Like, you could judge like how poor somebody is by whether or not they own a refrigerator. But I mean, is it glitching again? What is this ringing I'm hearing? Am I back? There we go. Okay. Well, I would love to get one more call in today. I had 2 major tech issues yesterday. I solved one of them. But this other one, I reinstalled the software. I think the next thing is reinstalling Windows on my computer, which I do not have time to do between now and tomorrow. So very, very worried about that. But sometimes when the stream gets restarted, whether it's because of technical difficulties or because of restrictions or just because it's kind of gotten stale, if I have a really bad call, sometimes it kind of tanks the live in the algorithm. But sometimes it's good to have a roll of the dice. Like, I love it when I can do 2 hours without stopping, and it's just like builds and builds and builds, and I end up with like 300-400 viewers. That's incredible. But sometimes when I don't have a caller, like I just didn't for that whole other previous live stream, sometimes restarting it just like, refreshes it on the For You page, and we end up with a caller immediately. So maybe that's the silver lining, and we're going to get one more very interesting call. But we'll see. But I'm glad I fixed the interface issue, or I found a workaround anyway. Glitch.exe says, I'm sorry, Oscar. It's all your fault, Glitch.exe. Yeah, clearly. You got to change that username. The system's detecting it. No, it's definitely somebody at the NSA trying to silence me for being right about Trump. That's 100% what's happening. But yeah, let's get double tapping away on the screen. Let's see how quickly we can get up to 10K, because if we get up to 10K real quickly, get another Trump supporter in here, we can have a conversation. But yeah, maybe I'm running out of people to talk to. Maybe they're all afraid. Let's see if I have any fresh donations. La da 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 da. None during the show. And I haven't seen Palantir Hater today. I have to remember, Palantir Hater sent me a donation, and I have to read it. I have to give them their shout out while they're here, so I'll be watching for that. Let's see. And I'll take a moment to remind the people who get back in here quickly that I have a Patreon now if you want to do monthly support. I already had a Buy Me a Coffee, but nobody uses that. Had that forever. Well, while it's just friendlies in here getting the show back going, let me know in the chat what you want me to yap about, because it does help. It is easier to yap continuously. Yesterday was May Day. I could talk about that. I didn't really participate very much. I felt a little bad. I kind of regret it. I kind of just made the decision not to, mostly just because of my schedule. I feel a little bad, like, giving time to this show instead of going out and participating and protesting things, but I have to balance it because I need the pages I'm doing more good for the voice I can be in this protest movement by growing my social media. And I think on days like yesterday, where it's generally going to be like larger scale peaceful protests, it's like not necessarily as useful for me to be out there. I get more eyes on it by sitting here and doing the podcast. So when there's like, smaller things that are like, maybe a little more interesting to watch than just a bunch of people walking down the street with signs, like when we're going to go, mob the Whipple building or something, like that's interesting stuff. That's how I ended up getting good footage of the Savannah Hernandez fight. That's stuff that I'm going to go to. And then the biggest stuff, like No Kings, of course, I'm going to get coverage of, because, man, there's just not enough videos floating around showing off how big that crowd was. I'll go and do that stuff. May Day is just the 1st of May. It was just the protests we had yesterday. It was like a day of. I struggle with this. Maybe this is something we can talk about, chat, while we're waiting for a Trump supporter. I don't know how useful it is to have these strike days. I don't know if it's the right way to get people involved. Like a day where you try to take work off or you skip school, or I think it's so silly to tell people not to shop on a particular day as a protest, because people are still going to buy the stuff they need. They're just going to do it on a different day. But I also think that it's really important that we not infight on our side. So I'm not gonna clown on people for protesting. Everybody should protest. We should get out every day. You should boycott Target. You should do all that stuff. But yeah, that particular strategy to me feels like potentially maybe not the most valuable approach. So I in terms of what's important, I don't know, man. Hold your elected representatives accountable. Demand that the midterms be free and fair. That's what we were doing yesterday. Protesting's good. I'm all about it. Those are my friends out there. And again, I'm not against what happened yesterday. I'm a little bit critical of strike days, because until we do a general strike where it's it wouldn't take a very large percentage of people just refuse. If the number of people who would need to stop doing everything, stop going to work, stop paying your rent, use what little savings you have to buy the groceries you need, but just really disengage with the commercial system, the number of people who would need to do that for it to be disruptive is actually not that many people. But you can't, one day doesn't fucking do anything. You got to do it. A strike is until you get what you want. I don't even think it's right to call these protest days a strike. I do see the Palantir haters here. I don't know if you got here earlier, but I did want to thank you for the Venmo donation. It was on Venmo, wasn't it? Yeah. Palantir hater sent me $5 and said Happy May Day. So yeah, we're just talking. That's how the topic came up, is because I wanted to read that, and I don't think you were here yet when I said it. Appreciate you, Palantir hater. Appreciate everybody who's donated to the show. It literally. In terms of the hours that I spend producing this show and managing my social media, I'm still making less than minimum wage doing it, but I care enough about doing it that I spend a lot of time doing it, and that adds up to enough that I can spend the time on it, but I have also given up my social life, and I'm not working very hard on my music right now, and I'd really like to quit one of my 2 jobs. One of them in particular I'm not very excited about. The other one I enjoy so much I'd keep doing it forever, even if I won the lottery. But most of my hours are at the other one, and it's going to interfere with the show this coming week, so I don't want to do that. Pam says I would if I could. Yeah, obviously don't hurt your wallet. The people who can should support. And if you don't have a budget for supporting online creators, you can still follow me on the platforms, hang out in the lives, double tap the screen to get more viewers in here. Ali Alejandro, I do see you in the request queue, but I'm hoping to get one more call in today. So I'm going to wait, because I know you're friendly. So I'm just going to wait a few minutes to see if we can get one more MAGA debate in here, because we started strong. We started strong, had 2 interesting calls about Well, I mean, guys, one of them was a pretty regular topic, which was Iran violating the JCPOA, and that guy made himself look pretty bad on it. And then the other one was just like a repeat conversation about whether or not ChatGPT is a good source. Hello, chromosome. I think I've been reading that username wrong for years. For some reason, I always thought of it as Chrome Zone, like a zone that's Chrome. I never actually read it out loud and realized that it's a different way to spell chromosome. How you doing, chromosome? I know chromosome in real life. That's why he's. Sorry for the shout out, chromosome, if you're trying to remain anonymous. But anyway, oh, you know what? If you've just got one thing to say, quick, Ali bro, I'll bring you up because we are nearing the end of the stream, and it looks like I scared away all the Trump supporters for the day. So we'll see what you got. Well, how you doing? Oh, and tell me how old you are.
Oh, hey, what's up? I'm 36. Outside of DC. I don't know if you need to know the place.
Nope. Just for TOS, I gotta ask the age.
That's right. Real quick, I just wanted to sort of piggyback off of what that introspection you have around protest and around striking. And I think that, I agree with that hesitancy. I see where you're coming from. But what I would argue is that, this is like a muscle that we are working the American people with. So if if people are engaging in these smaller initial protests against this stuff. I mean, me personally, I'm on a crazy boycott with where I don't spend my money, but I don't expect that everyone can do that.
Yeah, every little bit helps.
Yeah, and I get it because I'm a new parent and I have all my new parent friends who are like, well, I can't skip Target for diapers, and it's like you got to do it where you can, and you can't beat yourself up.
Yeah.
And that was all I had to say about it. We just got to build the momentum, and if we have to start here, this is where we have to start.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I guess the thing I'll add is that I didn't promote May Day protests yesterday very much because I have those qualms about it. And for me, you're right, 100% right. Anybody showing is good. We're working that protest muscle. That's great. The reason I didn't talk much about it on my social media is something I was actually mentioning earlier in the show about promotion, which is that it is very bad for my social media for me to promote anything, whether it's myself, go to the link tree in my bio and support the show, or go to this protest, or hey, there's a reason I don't say I have a show on such date, go to this show, because people don't want to hear the commercial. So I have to know that I'm cannibalizing myself to promote something. So because my accounts are growing so quickly and I have so much attention on me, it's maybe better for me to reserve my promoting these events for when I think I can do the most good by promoting it, because I don't want to promote the heck out of May Day and have not many people show up to it. And then when the next No Kings comes around and I'm really promoting the heck out of everybody going to that one, because that's the big one, I don't want people to not listen to me because of May Day. So it's a whole... We all need to navigate the tact of this in the ways that we can. But I appreciate you,
brother. You can drop me down.
Yeah, appreciate you. Joey says I'm woke and unhinged. I would love to. Yeah, I would love to talk about that, Joey. Can you hit the request button? Can I invite Joey to come talk? Let's see. Do I have him? He's not showing up on my request window. My goodness. I wish I could just click a username in the chat and invite him. Can I? I feel like shortly, right? There has to be a way for me to... I don't know. Joey, I really want to talk to you. I'm not immediately mean. I'm not going to jump down your throat. I do really want to hear what you think about all this before I, start having a conversation about it. Woke is becoming less and less meaningful. Mama Avery does not have guest request access. So let's fix that. Where did they go? There we go. Mama Avery. ... Manage access. Manage guests. Now you do. Thank you, Mama Avery. W's in the chat for Mama Avery. I think Mama Avery might have the most time clocked as a moderator on this show. DiavaTalks is up there. Midwest Progressive's up there. Jen is newer. Who else is here today? I don't think we have Will today. Anyway. No all caps in the chat. Let's cut that out. Congrats, President Trump, on success without a doubt. The best president. Okay, yeah. Let's get him invited and muted because I don't have a caller right now, and I'd love to get one more call in. We started pretty strong. But yeah, you can say, the reason I muted you are, sorry, if you're new here, I think your username I haven't seen before. It is just to encourage you to join the show and talk to me with your voice, because me sitting here talking to the chat is not as good a show. So yeah, I want people to I want people to come and have a conversation. Maybe I can like spot some usernames of some opposition I recognize, and I can invite those people. I haven't really tried that strategy. But also, if I click a bunch of these, we might get a bunch of callers up, and that's chaotic. Got to get to muting people. But yeah, it's a call-in show. So I don't mute Trump supporters. I don't ban Trump supporters. It's okay for us to have opposition and dissidents in the chat. Totally cool. But when I'm just sitting here yapping away to nobody, I really, really much prefer that somebody who supports Trump hit the request button and have some kind of conversation with me about that, because that's what the whole thing is about. Bill, same thing to you, buddy. If you want to, here, I've invited Bill to come up and explain why he put in the chat MAGA strong. If you support some Trump, I'd love for you to come up and tell us why. I'll give you all the time in the world you want to explain yourself. I want to understand why you like Trump. Talk local politics and invite me. I think it'd be really bad for the show to do local politics. So what I'm going to start doing, I need to do some like relaxed, chill live streams on Oskar Quentin 2, my other account, just to get it some robustness with not getting flagged and stuff like that. But I think shows that are different than this one, I'm going to do on the other account when I start doing those, because if I do anything other than the regular show on this, it hurts the viewership, and then the show that I do after that hurts because the previous show is bad. So I need to have a secondary account for like, I would love to do like a local politics show where we talk about Minnesota, or like friendly panels or whatever. I did a friendly show where it was definitely coffee in the mug at 11 p.m. with all my friends. That was really fun, but I should be doing that stuff on a secondary account, definitely. Scott says, rest in peace, DFL. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, dude. Like you can say it in the chat, but like, it's just, I'd much rather talk to you. Would much rather talk to you. Why are they all named Scott? Beaver Slayer 99 says Trump is king. Oh, we got Scott. Okay. I have talked to a few Scotts lately. I think that's maybe a local coincidence. I don't know if I've talked to you before, Scott. How old are you?
Yeah, I'm 50. I'm a super-duper-Trumper from Minneapolis.
Oh, yeah. I do remember talking with you. I don't remember exactly what we discussed. But what do you want to talk about today?
Local politics.
Well, yeah, actually, I will talk about local politics with a Trump supporter. That to me does seem like a better use of my time. What sort of local politics do you want to discuss?
So how do you feel about how your party is dealing with weapons of mass destruction here?
Weapons of mass destruction here in Minnesota?
Yeah, right, Minneapolis, right where we live.
What kind of weapon?
The F chemical.
Oh, right, okay, because you believe in Trump's definition of the F chemical, which we're not allowed to say because of TikTok terms of service. You believe that that's a weapon of mass destruction.
Well, yeah, absolutely. So, our government reclassified it.
Well, it's going to come back to Trump, because I think that Trump reclassified it to weaponize the government against poor people, who are mostly those who suffer because of the F chemical. I don't think it should be called a weapon of mass destruction, because
it's the Democrats that's weaponized it against the poor people.
A weapon of mass destruction is a weapon that allows a single person, whoever is in control of that weapon, to cause mass destruction. Now, you can cause mass unaliving with a small amount of the F chemical, because it is very dangerous. I just don't think that I think that weapons of mass destructions are things that can damage buildings, things that can knock bridges down, things that can like mass unalive a crowd of people. I could have a jar of the F chemical, which would be enough to unalive like millions of people because it's very potent. I'd still have a hard time unaliving a crowd of people with it.
Are you saying crowds of people haven't been unalived?
Well, I mean, would you say that heart disease is a weapon of mass destruction?
No, we're talking the F chemical, though.
Well, right, but you're talking about
mixing apples and oranges.
Are cheeseburgers weapons of mass destruction? They kill
You're
loads of
mixing
people.
apples and oranges.
I'm trying to understand what you think a weapon of mass destruction is. You say that I said something about the F chemical, and you said, well, it's killing lots of people. Loads of things kill lots of people. That's not what makes something a weapon of mass destruction. No, but it's
what your party's doing about it.
I don't think that's true.
What is your party doing about it?
I mean, do you think that like McDonald's is a terror organization for causing as many heart attacks as they have?
No, don't pivot. We're talking.
I'm trying to understand the way that you classify things as weapons of mass destruction, because if we're going to go by your definition of what a weapon of mass destruction is in a way that makes the F chemical a weapon of mass destruction, then there's loads of things that are also weapons of mass destruction. So I'm just checking if you're consistent enough to agree with your own definitions.
Here's what I'm asking is, why wouldn't you, as a decent person, utilize that? In fact, it's been reclassified to your advantage to save lives rather than to fucking end lives.
I don't think that that's a sensible way to address the F chemical problem, which I do admit is a very serious problem in this country.
Because all you guys have done is end lives faster than ever before in the history of the United States.
That's just an outlandish claim that I don't think has anything to do.
No, it's not.
You haven't satisfactorily answered my questions about your definitions of a weapon of mass destruction. Why is it that you consider the F chemical a weapon of mass destruction, but not the cheeseburgers that McDonald's sells? Because over the course of their history, it's entirely possible that McDonald's has killed more people with cheeseburgers than anybody has killed anybody with the F substance.
Because I've lost a couple dozen people. They're dead.
Okay, so I'm very, very sorry to hear that. I mean it. Like, that's terrible. But I do just really have to work with an integrity that doesn't allow me to...
And I'm from right where you're at, South Minneapolis, buddy.
Yeah, it's a problem here. I'm not denying that.
And what you guys are doing is unaliving people faster than ever before in the history of the United States, right here in my fucking city, right here in our fucking neighborhood. So who in the fuck are you to get up there and think that you're somebody?
Well, I'm just trying to understand, like who exactly is responsible for those
Democrats?
Right, but like, what did they do to cause that?
From the police chief to Keith Ellison to Mary Moriarty to the mayor, all the way up to the fucking governor.
Okay, I don't think that we're going to agree on the definition, so let's just move on. What should we do about the F substance?
Enforce the laws. Enforce the laws.
Yeah, it is illegal to sell it.
It's because you guys are not enforcing the laws. We got all these unalivings.
Okay, in what way, like what type of enforcement actions are you for doing?
It's because you guys would rather put these people in hospice and no addict.
Hospice is for people who are terminally ill. We don't put fentanyl.
Right.
I said the word. Oh, am I going to get banned? Diava, am I screwed for saying it? I have to be so careful with that one. Maybe I'll get missed for it. Tell me if I should. I accidentally said the word. Diava, let me know if I'm screwed or if I should turn off my
I don't even know what word you said.
I said the F substance name. I'm not supposed to say it.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. If I'm hosed, I'm hosed. But anyway,
I don't even think that's even in effect anymore now that it's the TikTok's owned by an American company.
Okay. My question again though is like what exactly do you think that we should do about the problem? Here, you're in charge. I'm going to make you the governor of Minnesota or the mayor or the police chief or whoever you need to be. You can be all the people at once if you want. You're in charge. What do we do?
Yeah, I know exactly what I would do.
So what do we do?
I'd put every person that's using the F chemical in jail. And if they didn't want to take a UA, go to jail. Okay. If you don't want, if you don't want to receive mental health services or treatment, jail. And it's just that simple. But we're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're just watching people.
Okay. So it is. You think that we should increase the sentencing for being caught with it? Is what you're saying?
Right. And so they're not even going after like fifth degree possession anymore.
Okay. No. So you think that if we increase the sentencing, if we make it so that you go to jail for a really long time for being caught with the F substance, you think that would make it better?
Well, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely it would. Nobody would like to go through them withdrawals again.
Okay. I mean, I don't think that would...
It would save lives. It would definitely save lives. But you guys aren't in the business of saving lives.
Well, I wouldn't say that a person who's in prison for the rest of their life has had their life saved. Would you agree with that?
No, I wouldn't.
Okay.
Absolutely not. I've been there. I know.
Yeah. Okay. So why is that a good solution?
Because they're abstinent from using the F chemical. And it's actually a better place than out there in the public endangering everybody.
Right, but a person who's a danger to themselves out in the public. By the way, I don't actually think that people who are addicted to the F substance are all that big a danger to other people. But I think they're more like a victim in the situation, personally. But
you really don't think that a person that's using isn't polluting other people?
Polluting other people? What does that mean?
Means that they're using with other people. And maybe somebody that's never used had to find somebody that does use to be able to use.
The point I was trying to get is that the lady Fingers is asking what the F substance is. It's TikTok speak. I'm not allowed to say the word. It's a substance that people might inject or inhale, and it's very similar in chemical to a substance that begins with H that's very, very addictive. But I can't say any of these words because of TikTok, so it's hard to talk about these things. Anyway, and I think I accidentally said it once and actually managed not to get the flag because I mumbled it. Anyway, again, a person who is addicted to that substance out on the streets, they have a chance of living a long, happy, and healthy life if we get them off of that substance. And you're just saying we should put them in jail forever?
Well, what I'm saying as far as not only put them in jail, but the people that are distributing it.
Right, we already do that. You do go to jail.
No, we do, but we should stiffen the sentence and we should call it attempted
Attempted murder. I think we can say attempted murder on the show. That's fine. Well, again, I mean that's talking about the dealers, which I like recognize we should go after more than the users. But I don't know why you're punishing the users as hard as you are.
And so no, it's your whole system here in Minneapolis of everything from mental health to chemical dependency. We basically gave up on everybody in the poorest areas that have.
What do you think costs the taxpayer more, incarcerating a person forever or getting them off of a substance?
Getting them off the sentence, and it has nothing to do with
off the substance, getting them to stop using it.
Which costs more?
Yeah, like if we have a guy who's addicted to the F substance, what's more expensive if he's like my age, 30, sending him to prison for the rest of his life or sending him to like rehab to get him better? Which isn't going to be isn't going to work 100% of the time, I recognize, but just which is more expensive is the question.
No, I don't think we should be looking at what's more expensive, but what's more effective.
You don't think that we should consider the cost to the taxpayer when we make policy?
I don't think we should consider the fact that the lives that are being taken, at this kind of rate, I don't think we should really look at finances, because I don't think it's unaffordable to save lives.
Diava, you want to take this
Scott.
one?
Yeah, I just have a couple really important points. Scott, could you possibly tell me who, since probably, I'm going to say, how old are you, Scott?
50.
How old?
50, I said.
50. Okay, I'm 53. So ever since I've been born, and you were similar in age, but ever since you and I both were born, there's only been one party that has consistently taken away mental health services and healthcare, and have tried to take away services from more people. Which party do you think that is?
But by the way,
no. I need an answer to my question.
Well, it's because of fucking fraud. So don't fucking twist.
No. Just listen. Fraud happens on the provider level, not on the recipient level. So why would they take healthcare and mental health care away from people? Because some people take advantage of billing practices that they shouldn't.
Well, right, because you guys have exploited the system. I mean, that's what you guys do.
And I'm asking you, which party has consistently throughout from the 80s till now, since Reagan, because I distinctly remember Reagan closing hundreds, if not all of the mental facilities and insane asylums and stuff like that. Reagan was singularly responsible for removing a lot of mental health services in the 80s. And consistently ever since then, every Republican president since then has given tax breaks to the millionaires and billionaires while cutting Medicaid and benefits for people. And Donald Trump just did one of the biggest cuts to Medicaid and to SNAP benefits that is taking advantage of already poor and not to say the bottom of society, but like the poorest amongst us. So do you think taking away their health care, taking away their food is going to make people that are in the throes of addiction do better by losing their services and losing food and losing all those things? So you're mad at the wrong people, my guy. You should be mad at the Republicans. You should be with the Democrats calling for universal health care, which means every single person in this country gets the health care and mental health care that they need. Instead of stripping benefits away, we should be granting benefits. So you should be actually caucusing or canvassing or whatever word you want to call it with the Democrats to get single payer health care to ensure that every single person in this country has access to mental health care. That is one of the things that we have the least amount of providers for, especially substance abuse, because it's extremely expensive. If you don't have private insurance or you don't have wealthy parents, it's very difficult to get those services. So you should be advocating for universal health care so that every single person in this country has access to not only health care, but to mental health care if this is your number one topic.
No, I'm advocating to dismantle the DFL party locally. Are you local here or are you?
I am not. I'm in a red state. I'm in Florida. Excuse me. You asked me a question. I'm answering you. I am not in Minnesota. I am in Florida. However, what I just said doesn't matter where you live. It doesn't matter if you're in DFL or if you're in the ORL in Orlando. Okay. Because this is a problem that spans throughout the country. And this has been a problem since the Republicans. Every single time a Republican is in office, they take away from the American people. They take away something to give more to corporations and billionaires. It's not right. And you are complaining about and to the wrong people. Because the change you want to see, your party will never, ever, ever, ever fucking do. And please stop saying that Donald Trump reclassified that as a weapon of mass destruction. He is not able to do that. He is a clown. And it has not been formally reclassified to shit. Just because he says it doesn't mean anything. And I think the most accurate thing that Oskar said when he read you the definition of a weapon of mass destruction is a single person. A single person in charge of. There is not a single person in charge of the F substance. So it cannot be classified as a weapon of mass destruction because there isn't a single person responsible for the destruction.
Just also why cheeseburgers aren't a weapon of mass destruction, even though they cause an enormous number of unaliving in the country.
So are you trying to say that that stuff is the same as marijuana?
Oh,
you can't say names of substances, my guy.
I had to kick him for that. I made the mistake sooner than he did, but I think the one thing that I'll add, and this is what I was about to ask Scott when you were done cooking him.
And actually, that was just reclassified by the actual DEA and the people they take it from a Schedule 1 to a Schedule 3, which it is not in the same category anymore because it's already been reclassified.
Well,
the problem is they don't know anything, Oskar. I'm sorry.
They don't know their history, because my question was going to be, when has prohibition worked for us?
Never.
Right.
Because if you have addicts, you're always there would be no supply if there was no demand.
Yeah. We've seen the world over, not just locally, that prohibition isn't a good approach to these things. If you actually want to fix these public health problems, calling them public health problems helps. That's a start. And
how about funding and stop defunding healthcare? Stop defunding mental health care. Stop stigmatizing mental health care. If you say everything is a mental illness, you're taking away from actual people that could utilize these mental health services to where everything does, like being a Democrat's a mental health issue. No, it's not. Okay. So by you continuously saying everything is a mental health issue, takes away from anyone seeking mental health.
Yeah.
People like him, people in my generation. Did you know Gen X white men voted for Trump more than any other demographic, more than even boomers?
That tracks.
I don't know where these Gen X men came from.
Well, a lot of the boomers are old enough to fucking remember that this shit is bad.
Exactly. They remember the Great Depression. They remember all the other stuff.
The boomers are people who are like the children of World War II veterans. Like they're
the ones who protested Vietnam.
Yeah,
they're the ones who protested during all those other things.
Yeah, precisely. And I mean, in general, like there's we don't actually spend too much time on this show talking about the like nitty gritty philosophical defenses that I have for like what my actual beliefs are. But everything I believe in is founded in some deeper ethical consideration. And one of the big things that that I often say when I'm like talking to my friends. It doesn't come up much on this show because people just yell racist things at me. but like if we were to have a more nuanced discussion, what I would say, hang on just a second, Jay. What I would say is that in general, I'm always in favor of a bottom up solution as opposed to a top down solution. So to use the cheeseburgers from McDonald's, I don't think we should make what McDonald's is doing illegal. I think we should teach children about nutrition more in school, because those are two ways to get people to have fewer heart attacks, and maybe both would do some good. But I don't like taking away the freedom of a company if I don't have to, and we can just educate people about how to take care of your body better, and that helps solve the problem in like a grassroots sort of way. And it's the same thing with these substances, where like all of these like, oh, let's incarcerate a bunch of people, or like use our big guns to like go raid the. It's like,
you can't do that. They have constitutional rights. You can't just pick people up because they have an addiction and throw them in prison for the rest of their life.
Yeah,
like we have due process. We have, they think it's such a simplistic answer, but they're violating all of their constitutional rights by doing that. You can't do that.
Yeah, let's see what Kay
even
wants
if
to
it is
talk
to
about.
save their life. You can't do that. You can't.
You want to stay up for a call, Diava?
Sure.
Kay, how old are you? I've invited you to unmute your microphone.
I can tell you what I can tell you what he. I'm sorry. I was going to say I could tell you what he said in the chat that prompted me to invite him up. If you want me to.
Yes, please. Before you start, Kay, why did you invite him up, Diava?
Because he said Democrats are the only ones that were celebrating Charlie Kirk's unaliving.
Oh,
and I want him to name one person that's like a public figure.
Yeah, name one elected Democrat that did that.
What I'm saying is it was all over the place.
No. Individual people can have their own thoughts and feelings. Tell me what Democrats that are elected. Tell me what Democrats that are in power or have any decision-making power at all have celebrated his unaliving.
So you're going to try to tell me on a small group of people that should represent the entire population?
They are the people who were elected to represent those.
It doesn't
people.
matter.
They are representative of us.
They literally are representatives.
That's not 350 million people, though.
I can name elected Republican officials that celebrated the death of Alex Preddy and Renee Good. Can you name a single elected Democrat?
Nobody
Same with Robert Mueller. When Mueller died, what did Trump say when Robert Mueller died? Good, I'm glad he's dead.
Yeah,
nobody celebrates that stuff. Renee Good, she shouldn't have been there. Bottom line. She's not protesting.
Stay home or die instead of live free or die, right?
That was not protesting when she did that.
She didn't do anything.
It obviously was.
No, okay. Do you know what do you know what under the First Amendment what protesting is defined
I was
as?
about to say that there are means of protesting that are protected by the First Amendment and means of protesting that aren't.
There's only one.
It's called peaceful.
Yes, peaceful.
She was sitting in her fucking car.
To incite violence.
She was dropping off her kid. She was just got
in the middle of the street
dropping her kid off to school.
People?
She was in her car,
blocking other people, refusing to move.
That's not what happened. You're just a liar.
Oh, really? So
well,
that
actually,
video,
wait. In the video, there are cars that are passing both on the left side and the right
and
side.
In front of her.
I also happen to live a few blocks away from Portland Avenue, and I happen to know that it's an enormous street that you can't block with one car.
Yes, but you should not be trying to impede traffic. You're
so
not
just to be clear, she wasn't successfully impeding traffic. She was just trying.
You are not allowed to impede a law enforcement.
She was not.
Or they shoot you in the face. So if you block traffic, you should get shot in the face.
Wait a second. She tried to run him over.
I don't think she did, buddy.
Incorrect. He's lying. He's going to get you shut down for misinformation. You're going to get shut down. You're going to be quiet because you're going to get his live shut down.
Do people really get the misinfo claim for talking about Renee Good?
They apparently are deaf, blind, and mute, and I'm not trying to be ableist or weird, but if you didn't see the video and watch the video with your own two eyes and you still want to say she was trying to run over him, when the wheels were clearly turned the other way, he had time to plant both feet to shoot her in the face. He's going against law enforcement in their what they're supposed to do for imminent
guidelines for when you're allowed
threat.
to use a firearm when a person is using a
Correct.
vehicle
Go and
against you.
do yourself a favor and look at all the videos I have about it, because you all argue,
I
and
do
I have
this for a
about
living.
6 different points of view where she hits the guy,
I think we have
and the guy was just run over just 5 months before.
Prove it.
So
it's all on my videos. It's all on my reposts. I love how you guys try to just say stuff. I posted them about 4 different points of view.
Prove she hit him.
I have one thing to say about this, which is that I call bullshit on Jonathan Ross being injured by her, because I think that if he was injured, if he had a really serious subdermal hematoma, which is what they claimed, by the way, that's a bruise.
He would have
that's just
ran his ass out of there like a little punk.
Well, yeah, I mean, he looked fine, first of all, but additionally, I think there'd be a picture. Like, the Trump administration loves propaganda that makes
it would have been everywhere.
Would have been everywhere if he was badly injured. I'm surprised they didn't hit him with a baseball bat just to show a bruise that they could have claimed Renee Good showed him, but they didn't do that. I call bullshit. I say there would be evidence if he was injured, bullshit. And he simply wasn't.
Here's a fun fact.
He was spotted a couple of days later helping his family move out of his house because, of course, he got doxxed right away, which his wife and kids I'm not happy about, but he was lifting heavy boxes and stuff.
Did you know he just got reassigned? He's back on the job as an ICE agent?
I did know that. I have seen those headlines. It's very upsetting.
I'm actually a Democrat my whole life. Bullshit. And I switched this past year because of you guys.
Incorrect. You don't go from believing in human rights. You don't go from believing in human rights, transgender rights, LGBT rights, students' rights, science, education, doctors believing in science. You don't go from all of that caring about humanity to being a fucking Trump supporter. You're a liar, and no one believes you. I promise you. No one believes you. No one believes you. You can say it till you're blue in the face. There's not a goddamn person who's going to believe you. Not one. Just like every Trump supporter voted for Obama twice. We all fucking know. Okay, we got it. But it's not true. So just stop lying, dude. You can say, I left this year because you guys have embraced the LGBTQ transgender blah, 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 blah. That just means you're a fucking bigot and you were never a Democrat. So shut up and stop being disingenuous because nobody believes you.
Yeah, and even if he voted that way, like, it doesn't mean that he was a good person, because I don't think that you can be a good person and come on this call and say the sorts of things.
It's just fake. He's trying to be like, we've ruined the party, and it's bullshit. I hear this every day, Oscar. You know I do this. I've been doing this for 2 years straight, 7 days a week. I hear this all the time. Well, you used to be a Democrat till y'all went radical. You did. It's bullshit. They all say the same thing because they want to. Oh, I used to be a good person. I'm a dirtbag because of you. No, you're just a dirtbag.
Well, he still just can't give us an example of a
You don't even know what the
Republican
Confederate flag represents. That's how stupid you are. You don't know what Iran is about.
It's Iran. It's not Iran. You don't ran anywhere. You run. It's Iran, not Iran.
And what government runs Iran?
I ran over there, and I ran over here, and then I ran over there again.
So this is the type of dialogue you have with a Democrat or liberal. They want to try to nitpick on stupid grammar rather than actually have an intelligent debate.
Or the name of the country.
Like I said, who runs the country over there?
Now it's the Ayatollah. Now it's what Donald Trump was successful in doing was getting rid of an 80-something-year-old man who had 1 foot on a banana peel 86 years old. He had 1 foot on a banana peel and 1 foot on a grave, and he took that guy out. And then he put his even more radical fucking son who's in his 50s that he can reign even longer. And he's
I want to add a detail. Diava, I'm going to add a detail.
Dad and his wife are dead now.
I was going to say, we made him more radical by killing his family.
Well, here goes a question. Yeah. Why are all the people over there actually celebrating that he was ousted?
All of them? All 90 million of them?
Really? Go look at my repost. Please follow me and go look at it.
Look at
I have
my
about
video.
3 dozen people up
look
there.
Look at my video. Let me self-promote. Hey, shut up. You're not self-promoting on Oscar's Live. Get the fuck out of here. Because you have a video of a few people going, yay. It's not 92 million people that live there.
You know what? You're immature. Because all you can do is sit here and just actually mute me because you can't have a dialogue.
No, because you're promoting yourself.
No, I'm not promoting myself.
You don't do that on someone else's platform. Facts. You have no fucking decorum. No,
when somebody turns around and says, do you realize if I take my hijab off over there, I can be taken out?
That's their religious practice. Who are you? That's their religious practice. Who are you? You're not the fucking religious police. You're not the world police.
In 1979, okay?
And guess what, putz? It's now worse. Because the new Ayatollah is more extreme. So all you've done is cause more harm to the Iranian people. They're not liberated.
Bombing brown people does not make them democratic. We've learned this lesson before.
In 1979, they wore skirts.
I don't need a history lesson, motherfucker.
They practiced Christianity in one day.
So
they were told there was one religion.
So what? So what?
Oh, so you don't care about human rights? Beautiful. I love how you just basically did
this is their. What are we? Okay,
wait. I have a question for him. I want to see if he can
Oscar,
answer a question. Go. What
I just want to know if he should be. I just want to know if he thinks we should bomb North Korea and Russia and all these other countries now that also do human atrocities and suppress people. If we just need to go 1-to-1 and just start bombing everybody because they're bad.
Well, you cry about Palestine, how we should free them. It's the same thing, but you don't want to free the other countries. That makes no sense to me.
Well, my question was actually going to be, how exactly is bombing them helping?
Thank you.
You are actually taking out the regime over there. That's the government.
We bombed a school by accident, and the president's denying it.
We have not taken any regime out.
Do you know?
Everyone is still there.
That's what they're trying to do. Do you understand why the actual Islamists come over here and pray in the middle of the streets?
No, nobody cares.
It isn't for freedom of speech.
There it is. He's just a racist. That's it. He's a xenophobic racist. That's all he cares about.
What did he say?
He said they come over here. They come over here and pray in our streets.
No, they're praying. Whatever shall we do?
I know,
like, you don't believe in their God. Are you afraid of their God?
What they did in Sudan. That is what they did in Ghana. That's what they did in Egypt.
And that's what we're doing too. We're no better because we're going over there and say our way of life is better.
So this
and
is
trying to bomb the shit out of them.
How immature are you people? Jesus, you can't even have an intelligent conversation. You got to mute me.
Because you're insufferable.
Because you're uneducated. Please go learn.
No, I am not. I am dog walking the shit out of you because you're not logically consistent.
I'm actually pointing out facts that you can go Google. You know what Google is? Go look it up.
Google is. Listen, dude, us going over and bombing them because we have a better way of life and we think they should do it the way we want to doesn't make us any fucking better than them.
We're freeing them. You're talking about something that you don't even have any intimate living experience with. You're going to sit there and tell them how they should live their life when you've never been there. But people over there hate you liberals because of
That's what you're doing. See, he was never a liberal because he says he hates you liberals. He has so much vitriol. This motherfucker, just like I said,
just take a
was
moment
never
and
a fucking liberal.
You can speak for yourself, Diava, but I'm just not so hateful. I don't want conservative tears. Sounds like this guy wants liberal tears, and I think that's un-American. We should try to make life
he's a
for everybody.
sociopath.
Yeah,
only sociopaths want to see other people in pain.
So now we're doctors and we're going to assess somebody. Really,
it's what you do, man. It's what we do. You call in and we assess what we think about you. That's like the whole show.
You have zero facts to actually back up anything. Except what you do sitting on your couch every day. You want to judge somebody who are thousands of miles away when you haven't lived one day in their shoes. But when they actually get on there and say, "Hey, you know what? I lived it." I don't have to. I have the proof on it when they spoke about it.
See, do you hear this hypocrisy?
Why do we have to, but you don't? Yeah.
We have to. We haven't walked in their shoes, and he hasn't either. But yeah, he's the fucking authority. Boy, get the fuck out of here, man. You are dumb. I'm sorry.
Are we done with Kay?
I have you can't handle any intelligent conversation.
No, I haven't found any yet.
I told you go look at it. Go look at the Iranians who actually turn around and tell you.
Iranian. They had their chance in January when they actually had a revolt, and Donald Trump said, "We got your back, guys. We're going to help you," and didn't do shit. So they already had their time. They had their turn to
Tiananmen Square.
Oh, I don't allow men to speak over me, motherfucker. I was in the middle of a sentence. They had their chance for them to actually have a revolution for the people to take over in January when they actually rose up against the government. Donald Trump went on his stupid Truth Social, and he said, "We're behind you guys," but he didn't do anything. He didn't send help. He didn't send anything. That's when he could have helped the people of Iran to overthrow the government. Instead, they wait and then they fucking bomb them. Yeah, that's a real fucking winning strategy.
30,000
protesters. We got a lot of our protesters in this country too. Get over it.
30,000 in January murdered. Where were you then?
Why did we bomb more of them then?
Where were you in Minnesota? Where were you when Alex Preddy and Renee Good were gunned down for protesting in fucking America? Last I heard, Iranians didn't have a fucking constitution to protect them. I can yell better than you. If you think you can be crazy, I can be crazier, bitch. I promise.
I love you, Diava.
Again, I would not be on the side of the road arguing with a cop while they pulled somebody over. You would.
So you're just take it over, bend over and take it, right? Bend over and take it because it's police. Fuck your rights. Fuck your constitution. Just bend over and take it because it's the
here if you don't like the country.
The police.
Go move to North Korea. Go move to Palestine and tell me how it is. Actually go move to Canada because they're actually begging to come back from Canada.
Oh, I know. Where are they begging? Please tell me.
You know why? Because you can't work for 6 months up there. That is a proven fact.
Oh, my God.
A liberal actually said, I had no idea, me and my...
Shh, calm down, honey. You're very emotional. You're very,
Can we try to get him to take a deep breath?
Breathe in. Breathe out. Come on, Pookie. You're very, very emotional.
Pookie. You can't sit there and act.
Shh. That roid rage is really getting obvious. You need to take a chill.
We have a transgender woman trying to tell me something. Really?
Women can't be leaders because they're so emotional.
Do you hear yourself? You're the one cut me off and muting me.
I'm just trying to get you to calm down, Pookie Bear. I just gave you a little winky, that's all.
You're immature because if somebody disagrees with you, you immediately revert to that. You pick them apart, put them down.
Do you have any whiny baby cries? Can we get baby bottles in the chat?
I think the TikTok app might be a problem for your blood pressure, dude. I don't know if you should open it ever.
Conversation.
Baby bottles
I'm actually
in the
more
chat.
healthier than you guys are.
Oh, yes, I'm sure.
I've never actually had a surgery in my life. I've never had a cavity. I have all my hair. I'm 52. Thank you very much.
Who gives a fuck?
And that's naturally dark.
And who cares? What are you saying? You have good genes? Are you into eugenics too?
Oh, I love this.
I've never seen this many baby bottles in the chat.
You guys do so much pivoting when somebody brings out the facts to you.
You're talking about your fucking genetics, dude.
You brought up Iran because you didn't like what we had to say about the previous topic.
What are you, a burnout from the 80s? Stop talking like that, dude. I mean, come on.
He is crashing the fuck out.
No. I'm actually quite fine because we're in office. You got nothing to do about it, and you can't stop it. Take him out all you want. Pence.
You can only hope to contain him. Do you know how ridiculous
Vance will actually step up, and it's still a Republican, whether you like it or not.
No shit.
No, but all you idiots are like, hey, take him out. Okay, what's that going to do? You're still going to have Republicans in there. Get over it. Stop whining and get over it and move on life.
Do you have any music, like violin music, we can play for his crash out? Just give him some music to let him just...
Oh, my God.
I think tomorrow I'm going to have the piano hooked up. I should reach over and play a sad melody when they start crying.
Good.
You can't have a intelligent conversation.
These men they're like stage 10 emotional messes.
I just said a moment ago that I don't want conservative tears. I kind of want this guy's tears, though. I'm kind of into it. He's being so mean to you.
Tears. This is just straight facts I've spoken to you.
No, you have not stated a single fact, not
does
one.
Not belie the fact that they are facts.
Unfortunately, you haven't presented a fact. So
Really?
No.
Just like you guys all turned around and said CK was racist. Really?
He was. He said he wouldn't get on a plane if he saw a black
Here
pilot.
goes a question. Here goes a question for you.
But he's about to tell us that Charlie Kirk wasn't racist.
Leader Summit. Who started it?
I don't know, but all I know is that Charlie
it was
Kirk
CK.
Now
Thank you very much.
Right now, all I know is CK is looking up at us.
There was another black person actually told everybody, he says, he helped me get the funds to go there because I couldn't even afford it. He says,
oh my God, I have a black friend. He's tokenizing the one black person that Charlie Kirk helped. He's tokenizing the one black person that
his
Charlie
best
Kirk
friend is a black person.
Look at this race trader. Everybody else must be racist now.
On TikTok, he even turned around. He says, "You guys are so idiotic. You don't even know what you're talking about with him." He said, "I live with him. He's not racist."
Guess what, Kay? I just want to fill you in on something. Literally nobody gives a fuck about Charlie Kirk. He was a debater like I am. He just did it in person on college campuses. At least I do it on TikTok with fucking grown-ass adults instead of college campuses where most of these kids don't know a fucking thing because they've been raised in conservative households like I was and brainwashed and indoctrinated from birth into a religious cult. And those are the kind of kids he talked to. But yes, technically adults, but obviously emotionally arrested development. And that's who he chose to talk to. I actually debate grown-ass adults of all ages on TikTok, and I don't have to frequent college campuses to do it.
Wait, then explain why he actually ripped down an actual conservative woman right there when she actually says, I do not agree that transgenders should be living together. And he said, look, it's not my point or your point to decide what they're doing in the bedroom. That's their life.
A nobody.
You are Christian by saying that, so leave them alone.
I'm not a Christian. Thank you. I denounced that shit a long time ago, and neither are you, because you don't know how to follow the Bible. If Jesus' words were read to you today, you'd call him a liberal, and you'd probably crucify him all over again. Because what the Bible tells you, what do you, hey, shut your mouth. No. Hey. What does the Bible say? Hey, what does the Bible, hey. Are you supposed to feed the poor, take care of the sick? Or are you just supposed to take away their SNAP benefits and say, fuck you, good luck?
Like I said, you can't have an intelligent conversation.
Fuck you, good luck. Is it fuck you, good luck? Or was it help feed your neighbor? Help feed the poor. If you do it unto these, at least my brethren, you've done it unto me. Which one of those does Jesus say?
Fuck them? You wouldn't be able to fuck me, girl.
That's not what I said. If you want to take it that direction, that's a typical Trumper answer, because you guys are fucking demented.
Well, no, because that's all you've done. You just sit here mute.
It's always like 5 pivots deep. They start talking about our genitals. Genitals, yes, exactly. Why is it always about our genitals?
He's really gross. And I wasn't talking anything about personally. I wouldn't fuck you with someone else's dick, but that's just me.
No, you turn around and says "fuck you." So I come back with a little witty comment that actually went right over your head, which I would not.
It's not witty. You sound like a moron.
Again, mute me again. It shows who's winning the argument.
Yeah, me, bitch.
You can't have it entirely.
I can. I just can't have someone who's unintelligent and who can't follow a single line of logic and who gallops all over the fucking place and can't stick to one point if their life depended on it. And you sound like a whiny little 2-year-old, and I apologize to 2-year-olds.
Guess what? This is what I'm going to do. I have to go to the store and go meet some friends. So I'm going to take my Mercedes, go down there and have a good time. You could sit here and whine about MAGA and how MAGA ain't.
Okay, it's not an airport. You don't have to announce your departure. You can just go.
Have a good day.
Flight taken off. Goodbye. Let's just call him Spirit Airline, because as of today, they're defunct.
I want to thank everybody for putting more baby bottles in the chat than I've ever seen. That was incredible. Does he think he looks good? Does he think I know Scott is watching in the chat and is cheering that guy on, but their blood pressures are linked. They've synchronized their physiology.
He's about to stroke the fuck out.
I gotta wonder how many strokes I've caused by running this show.
I know I haven't a lot of MAGA men because they end up stalking me afterward. But
yeah.
They don't. I mean, unfortunately, that's a biohazard of this job. But God, man, there's nothing satisfies me more than dog walking a stupid man.
I was about, we're near the end of the show, so I was going to say you should give yourself a commercial, but I think you already have. You want to formalize it?
I go live hi everybody, I'm Diava. I go live every single day from 4 to 7 p.m. Eastern, literally 7 days a week. So I have been for 2 years. I only missed 5 days total. That includes every single holiday. I do this every single day. I love it. This is my protest. I'm not able to get out into the streets like Oskar and protest. I do have 2 special needs kids that I am fully single parenting. So my protest has been holding Trump supporters accountable for what they voted for and trying to get out truth and information, sources, and credible information, and get rid of, and help dispel misinformation and disinformation. And then, you know what? You have to give it back to these people, because if you look at the Republicans, Oskar, and I know I'm talking a little bit longer than I should, but if you take it, the Republicans play dirty. They've been playing dirty forever. They're dirty, they're nasty, they were getting down in the mud, and the Democrats have always taken the high road. We've always tried to have decorum and to do things, by the book and the way it's supposed to be done, and all that kind of stuff. And that party is gone. We have been trying to be tolerant. We have been trying to do that. We have been trying to work with you guys for years, and you guys are not willing. And so now the tolerant left has left the building, and now we are the intolerant left. And we're not only going to get in the mud and wallow with you, we're going to drag you down to the pits of hell with us and beat you with experience once we get there. And so if you think that it's the tolerant left and that we're just going to tolerate your bigotry, your racism, and your disgusting behaviors and thoughts, we're not doing it anymore. There's no more high road to be taken. We've done it for too long, and this is where it got us. Now it's time to fight fire with fire. And we're going to bring the fire, and they don't like it because they're not getting back exactly what they've been giving us. And now we're not just taking it anymore and being nice about it anymore and trying to take the high road. No, absolutely not. The tolerant left has left the building. We are now the burn it down bitches.
Burn it down, bitches. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, like, everybody knows I'm more patient than Diava, and I don't use the mute button, but like, there comes a point where I really, like, I don't do it by yelling, but I do pull out the stops and start telling people what I think, and they don't like it. They don't like the venom coming from the left, but that's kind of what we need. We need to be straightforward about the fact. I have a clip of a guy who, the other day, I don't know if you saw this one, Diava, I have a clip, it's on my Instagram, because a caller called in and said that there's a grain of truth to every insult, and I immediately said, okay, so if I call you a pedophile, is there a grain of truth to that? He said yes, so I said elaborate, and then he said,
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, we need to shine a spotlight on the fact that there is a chunk of the male population that are just okay with the Epstein files being hidden for reasons like
Oscar,
the ones that guy had.
Yeah, I would like to say something about that because I have talked ad nauseum,
Please.
I'm sure you can imagine, on my live about the e-files. And I have come to the conclusion after talking to so many of these Trump supporters over the years, but specifically since the e-file issue, I said the only men, honestly, that are still okay and are supporting Donald Trump after the e-files have come out are still support him, because if they could get away with it, they would do it too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, they want,
and I firmly stand behind that.
They want to go back to a very, very different America, one that didn't protect women and children as much as we're trying to.
That is correct, which is why most red states have very low or very young ages for child marriage. They're trying to lower it. And even lower in some red states, which is fucking disgusting. But that's why they don't care. And Oscar, there's a second prong to that. It just hit me like an aha moment. And I may have said this before, but I'm not sure. It is also extremely easy for the Christians to turn a blind eye to it because that's what they do in their churches.
Yep. I mean, they got the support of the Pope on that one.
They have SA insurance for churches, and if you don't think your church has one, ask your pastor, because they do. Every church has one, because it is such a problem in religion, and it's all religions. It's even happened in my very own family to my brother, and it got swept under because we got to keep it hush hush, keep it quiet. No law was called. This person just went on to affect and offend other children because you don't want to put a spotlight on the family and you don't want to look bad in front of the congregation, so you just kind of brush it under and you like pretend it didn't happen. Yeah. In my very own family. So when I tell you the reason why they're able to overlook the e-files is because they overlook it in their churches every single day and they do not care.
I mean, that, whether or not they're actually criminals themselves, because that's a big accusation, they clearly don't care, and that's like the biggest problem. Really, is like you have apathy
I said they would do it if they could get away with it. Is what I said.
Right. Yeah. I mean, plenty of them would do it if they could get away with it. Plenty of them wouldn't, but don't care, because I don't think that every elected Republican is like a offender of children, a predator of children.
No, but they don't care.
But every single one of them doesn't care, which is why they were voting to keep the Epstein files hidden, and that's just absolutely horrible and messed up. But man, I was getting I'm a little under the weather today. I didn't sleep very well. I had a bunch of weird dreams that aliens were invading. I woke up like, whoa, oh my God. Different crazy timeline. I woke up all out of sorts. I was kind of fading when you came on and started yelling. You really rescued me. So thank you for that. I appreciate you. I was like, I don't have the energy today to deal with that guy.
I did.
You always do. You always do. So W's in the chat for Diava, and I'll kick you for the algorithm.
All right. Sounds good, honey.
Have a good one. Gotta love having friends of the show. The commercial for me is a little shorter. Go to the link tree in my bio and follow me on the other platforms and send me money if you feel like doing that, because I am trying to quit my job to do this because I want my social life back. Derek T, are you still here? You can hop up and say hi if you want. Because I was just going to say the only social thing I've done lately is going to your birthday party. But that's just one of the other protesters in the local scene here. Anyway, as Diava mentioned, I do also do outside content. I didn't get to yesterday for reasons I talked about earlier in the show. But in general, I get both the debate content and some of this activistic content from outside. I go and touch the grass with my protester buddies and occasionally get, tear gassed and stuff. But they have been using less tear gas on us because it makes them look real, real bad. The birthday guy. I hope you had a good birthday week, fam. Yeah. We had a great time. Me and Derek the activist, and the other Derek the activist, the other Dr. Dankenstein and activist Derek, two different Dereks in the scene. We went out and enjoyed the local bars. Diava's still in the chat. Thanking everybody for the love. But yeah, I'm going to wrap it there because I got work tonight, and I'll be back on 10 a.m. tomorrow, hopefully with an update on what the time's going to be on Monday because my work schedule's changing and my boss has not gotten back to me yet on exactly how that's going to be. Thanks for hanging out, everyone. Don't support people who touch children, please. Goodbye.